follow officer's orders, got down and was detained.
Gilbert Gallegos with the Albuquerque PD. Not much is known right now about the suspect, who remains jailed on charges of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Court records show Gutierrez has a criminal record, previously charged with burglary, drug possession, DUI. At least 2 of the stabbing victims were critically injured, but all were either in stable condition or treated and released. America is listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
If you are a man over 40, listen up, because this could impact how much you're getting done during the day and at night. The harsh reality is, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. Here's the good news. Nugenix, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC, has changed the game again for men over 40 with Nugenix Total T, their most powerful man-boosting formula ever. And guys all over America are raving about it. Jeremy P. says, "This is the best product I've found to raise T levels. I plan on using the product for the rest of my life." And how about Shane D? He says, "I had no drive and was tanked out at the end of the day. After 3 months, my energy level is through the roof. I work out like most 19-year-olds. I am 47. Guys over 40, you need Nugenix Total T. And right now, you can get a complimentary bottle. Just text DIG to 42424. It's the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. But you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting DIG to 42424. That's DIG to 42424. Text DIG to 42424.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty nice afternoon for Valentine's Day and winter in St. Louis, partly to mostly sunny skies. Let's be hanging around 48 degrees much of the afternoon. Tonight, clear skies, 22. Tuesday, sunny, cold early morning, but then noticeably warmer. Tuesday afternoon, a pop to 60 degrees. Rain moves in on Wednesday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This is where St. Louis comes to talk.
Chris and I may be outliers here on our side of the spectrum.
And both sides are here for the Reardon Roundtable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an emotional reaction. I mean, the Democrats have said the same thing about other elections, too.
Every Friday at 3.
That's sort of an interesting dynamic, is that he's on the upswing, taking on Trump. And if anybody else mentions Trump in a negative way, somehow they're done.
The Reardon Roundtable, because discussion isn't canceled. On 97.1 FM Talk.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you're experiencing the constant struggles of having the kids home from school or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixed the car.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
This planet is so incredibly beautiful that I can't get enough of it. I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail, and Good Feet was with me all the way. Your passion's important, but if your body aches and if your heel feels like you've got a nail stuck in it and won't come out, trust me, it's going to wear you down. The Good Feet store knew what they were talking about and took the time to really dial in what I needed. I hiked 84 miles in the Himalaya and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for Good Feet?
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlouis.com. Start the new year on a better foot. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Odyssey.com is a universe of audio, and it's where you can download the app to stream 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it today and stream anytime from anywhere. Where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by the Loading Dock, with a unique and beautiful ice skating rink to enjoy this time of year. Go to GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Rachel Pete. All of this was revealed within a potential conflict of interest motion filed by special counsel John Durham. It had to do with the defense team of former Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussman. Michael Sussman is among those indicted so far in Durham's probe into the origins of the Trump-Russia investigation. Now, in this motion, under a section titled Factual Background, Durham reveals that Sussman paid an internet company to infiltrate servers at the White House and Trump Tower in order to create a narrative connecting then-President Trump to a Kremlin-tied bank.
Annie Frey Show, glad to be with you today. It's Monday, it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, folks. So big story over the weekend. There is development in the Durham Probe. Now, we've been on the Durham Probe here on the Annie Frey Show, but there hasn't really been a lot to talk about for some time. And the frustrating thing for me, which is secondary to the actual story, is how much the media isn't talking about this. The allegation, I suppose, I don't even know if allegation is the right word, because Durham's been doing investigations on this and he has proof of this, that the Hillary campaign paid to spy on the Trump campaign. Now, you're sitting here going, Annie, come on. We've been talking about that for years, for literal years. It's not just that. They paid, the Hillary campaign paid to spy on the Trump campaign. They also paid to spy on the Trump White House, the executive office of the President of the United States. Here's more from Fox News reporter Alexandra Huff.
Durham says that Sussman billed the Clinton campaign after the internet company that a person known as Tech Executive One worked for, quote, had come to access and maintain dedicated servers as, quote, part of a sensitive arrangement whereby it provided DNS resolution services to the EOP. EOP meaning Executive Office of the President. The court filing says the purpose was to uncover damaging information about then President Trump.
So what we have heard, what we have learned, of course, is that what we suspected, what Trump has said for quite some time, that he was spied on, that there is evidence to that fact that the Durham Probe has. And it wasn't just that they were spying. They weren't trying to catch him in a criminal act. What they were trying to do was find anything, mine for anything that they could use to create a narrative. And what would that narrative be used for? Well, that narrative would be used to, during the campaign, help Hillary Clinton win the White House. And then once President Trump was President Trump and not candidate Trump, that narrative would be used to try to take him down. What is the legality behind all this? What's the repercussions? Well, let's go to our expert for that. Zack Smith joins us now from the Heritage Foundation. He is a legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Zack, thank you so much for coming on the air with us today. What a story this week and what a development in the Durham Probe news.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on, Annie. And, you're absolutely right when you say this really has been an underreported story over the past several weeks and months. And I think in part That's because John Durham, who's appointed special prosecutor in this case, has been keeping a relatively low profile, and appropriately so, while he investigates these very serious charges. And what we know so far is there have been 3 indictments that have come out of this investigation. And the most recent one involved a lawyer from kind of a white shoe DC law firm, Michael Sussman. Now, it's important to keep in mind, Michael Sussman's been in charge. He's entitled to a presumption of innocence, just like any criminal defendant in the United States. He has not been convicted of any crimes yet. But his charge is essentially that when he was presenting information to the FBI's general counsel that supposedly showed that Donald Trump and his campaign were talking with the Russians through secret back channel servers, he told the FBI general counsel that he wasn't doing that on behalf of any client. Well, the Durham investigation showed that statement was false, and so he's charged with a 18 U.S.C. 1001 violation, making a false statement to a government official, to the FBI general counsel. And so this most recent filing that John Durham filed with the court late last week is in Michael Sussman's case. And essentially what this filing is asking the court to do is asking the court to make sure that Michael Sussman's lawyers who are representing him in this case don't have any conflicts of interest, or if they do, that they've been appropriately waived by Sussman. And this is a smart move for a lot of reasons. It'll essentially insulate Sussman from raising any of these issues later, trying to get any potential conviction overturned. But really, what you were talking about, Annie, the details that came out in this filing, they are very troubling indeed, and certainly look like that candidate Trump and President-elect Trump, someone was surveilling his servers, which is incredibly troubling information. To come out.
Legal fellow with Heritage Foundation, Zack Smith, with us right now. I want to ask a quick, brief question here so we can answer this and move on from it. Was anything that was alleged about Donald Trump as a candidate or as the president of the United States having a nefarious relationship with Vladimir Putin and or Russia, was there ever any evidence that proved that that nefarious relationship existed?
No, certainly nothing that we've seen. And look, one of the things that John Durham highlighted in his recent filing is that a lot of these alleged server contacts that were occurring, they had started years before Donald Trump was even a candidate for the presidency, and in fact had started under the Obama administration. So this had been going on for quite some time and doesn't really look like there was anything nefarious about it.
So let's move on from that, because I think it's important, because there's a lot of people who may not be completely plugged into the news cycle who are going to say, well, Donald Trump still was best friends with Vladimir Putin. Like, it's so important for me to communicate to anybody who's listening right now that the entire narrative that surrounds Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, or Donald Trump and Russia, that is all a narrative that has been constructed around him, not because of him. I want to go to a tweet here from October 31st of 2016 from Hillary Clinton. Her tweet says, computer scientists have apparently uncovered a covert server linking the Trump organization to a Russian-based bank. Well, she tweets this press release, this statement from her campaign, and it says, statement from Jake Sullivan on new report exposing Trump's secret line of communication to Russia. This could be the most direct link yet between Donald Trump and Moscow. Computer scientists have apparently uncovered a covert server linking the Trump organization to a Russian-based bank. That came out, what was that, 5 days or a week before the election actually occurred, from Jake Sullivan, who was working for that campaign. And if the name Jake Sullivan sounds familiar to you sitting there listening to the show right now, he is currently the national security advisor for the United States of America. This is very, very bad. Zach, am I wrong?
Well, it's certainly very troubling, the information that we're finding out. Look, and I think it's important to realize who Michael Sussman, the indicted individual, is. He was working for a D.C. law firm that was representing the Clinton campaign. Another partner there, Mark Elias, who since left the law firm and started his own firm, was serving as general counsel to the Clinton campaign. And so essentially what it looks like is that you had Hillary Clinton's attorneys, her campaign's attorneys, basically taking false information to the FBI to try to get them interested to investigate it. And then when going to the FBI, alleging that they aren't working on behalf of any client or campaign, that they're just disinterested citizens. Well, we know that's not true, and it certainly looks like all of these allegations were done for political purposes. And look, these are very troubling, or should be very troubling, no matter which side of the political aisle you fall on.
Zach, I have a comment here on our Facebook live chat from Drew, and he says, you guys are still chasing after rabbits. Many people are going to hear this. They're going to probably be anti-Trump people. So the politics being what they may, are going to hear this and think like, oh, we got to talk about Hillary's emails again. They're going to bring up all of these things that the public is very tired of talking about. But I'm hearing other people, certainly on the conservative bent side of the aisle, saying that this is worse than Watergate. You're a legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Your job is to know the law and to understand the law. And your job here is to communicate that to us. Is this chasing rabbits, or is this worse than Watergate? It's got to be somewhere on that spectrum.
Well, it's certainly not worse than chasing rabbits. Look, I think one of the things that needs to be emphasized here, this is a criminal investigation that John Durham is conducting. This is not a political operation. If John Durham files charges against someone, he needs to make sure that he can prove them beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the highest burden we know in American law. And so he has to have the evidence to back up these allegations. And so the fact that he has filed 3 indictments, the fact that he has indicted one of the Clinton campaign's lawyers, certainly seems to indicate that he believes he can prove those charges in court. Now, juries, they do strange things sometimes. They don't always agree with the prosecutor. But the fact is, Durham has to have evidence and has to believe he can prove those charges in court. And so the fact that this is taking some time, the fact that it is being kind of a low profile affair, and that John Durham is being very methodical about this, I think emphasizes that he is trying not to make this a partisan operation, which is very commendable and a very good thing if we really are serious about finding out what happened and holding any potential wrongdoers accountable for their actions.
Zack Smith with the Heritage Foundation on with us right now. Zack, the other thing I hear a lot from people, specifically on the pro-Trump side of the aisle, is, I just want to know, is anybody going to go to jail? So realistically speaking, if crimes were committed here, are, the everyday average folks who are just going about living their lives going to watch these, pretty major crimes that Durham seems to be uncovering and having the evidence for, thus the indictments? Is anybody going to get real punishment for these crimes if they're to be found guilty?
Well, it's hard to know. Imprisonment certainly is an option. The sentencing of each defendant, if and when they're convicted, really is an individualized determination. There's something called the federal sentencing guidelines. The judge will take those into account, take into their prior criminal history. I doubt many of these individuals will have a prior criminal history. And so that will certainly factor in their favor in terms of potentially having them be sentenced to something like probation or very low-end sentencing guidelines range. But look, the fact that prosecutions are being brought, the fact that people are being held accountable, I think that at a minimum is a very encouraging step, and frankly, something that many of us thought we would never see. So I think the fact that prosecutions are happening is a very good sign.
If it's known, if it's discovered and evidence is proven in a court of law and it's found to be the case by the jury or the judge, however this goes, that Hillary Clinton knowingly paid for this to happen, that she invested her time, her energy, and her mind into funding a narrative-driven spying expedition on the Trump campaign and on the White House, is Hillary Clinton in trouble?
Well, there's a lot to unpack there, Annie. Certainly Durham or whoever's investigating would have to prove that Clinton herself had knowledge and potentially ordered this conduct. And whether it was her or someone else in her campaign, that remains to be seen exactly who is responsible for these actions. But look, at a minimum, these are very troubling allegations. We've essentially shown that federal law enforcement, the FBI and others, were looking into the Trump campaign based on these fabricated allegations that were put in their hands by operatives, by agents of the Clinton campaign. So at a minimum, this is an incredibly bad look for the Clinton campaign, and certainly a very troubling development that should, again, regardless of political affiliation, should trouble us all and really make us all want to get to the bottom of this conduct.
Zach, last question before we let you go. Is there a statute of limitations on any of this? People suggesting that there's a 5-year statute of limitations on potentially drawing charges or whatever. Is there a clock ticking right now?
Yeah, there are statute of limitations on most federal crimes. Generally, it is 5 years for most crimes. It would depend on the specific charges that Durham pursues. Some charges do have a longer statute of limitations, a 10-year statute, but generally there is a statute of limitations. And so, I think John Durham is operating very methodically, but he certainly has that in the back of his mind.
Well, we appreciate your time and your expertise on this issue. I know a lot of people are watching to see what happens next, not holding their breath because we don't have that much oxygen retention in our lungs. But we always want to know what the legal aspect is of it. And Zach, you brought that for us here today. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thanks, Annie. Take care.
You as well. Bye-bye. Legal fellow for Heritage Foundation, Zack Smith. He also co-hosts SCOTUS 101. Is that a podcast? What is that?
Yeah, that's a podcast.
Okay, cool. I just thought maybe he just goes to SCOTUS and Springport and just starts talking. We're going to take a quick break because at 12:25-ish, we're going to speak with Dr. Alveda King. Of course, it is Black History Month, and she's going to talk to us about the juxtaposition of Black history and the American dream. And I think it's a very positive thing to talk about. It is 12:22 right now. You can donate your car to Goodwill and get 2022 Cardinal tickets at mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Cardinals. We'll be back with Dr. Alveda King in a minute.
Across the field where the creek turns back by the old Stumble Road.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
I'm gonna take you to a special place that nobody knows.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
You and me go fishing in the dark.
97.1 FM Talk. Uncensored discussion that's free in more ways than one. This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
There's nothing more romantic than shopping for flooring. I mean, you might want to try it because I can imagine a lady going, well, yes, I would like to buy some new flooring. You take her to Michael's Flooring Outlet at one of the 3 locations, or you just visit the website, igotfloor.com, and you start the shopping process. It is such a great way to remake your home, freshen your home, bring your home up to date. And if you're looking for something that's going to satisfy the needs of the people in your house, maybe you need that hypoallergenic flooring, you can go with the Mohawk Arrow carpeting. It's beautiful, it's high quality, and it's hypoallergenic. Check them out in St. Charles County and in West County, also in Darting Prairie. But like I said, you can go online to igotfloor.com. And when you log onto their website, you are going to see the stuff they have in stock. You're going to be able to click on a button that talks to you about how to get your free estimate. These are all words that women love to hear, right? So if you are looking to purchase flooring, or if maybe she's hinted at it, I don't know if your wife's a hinter. It depends on how long the longer you're married, the less you hint. And it's more like, hey, we're buying flooring. And you're like, okay, dear. You want to buy it from Michael's Flooring Outlet. They just are the best in customer service, the best in quality, and the very best in value. Visit them in any of their locations or online at igotfloor.com.
Procrastination. We've all been there. But have you been dragging your feet when it comes to creating your retirement plan? I've heard it all from, I have time before I need to make a decision, or I'll eliminate debt first and then get ready for retirement. I've seen far too many people waste valuable time for their retirement planning, and I don't want you to be one of them. Hi, I'm Ken Heisey with Heisey Advisory Group. I'm on a mission to help people recognize the potential destructive impact procrastination can have on their retirement plan. Don't procrastinate. Call us today at 314-328-6000 to ensure you get on the right path toward your retirement dream. 314-328-6000. Again, that's 314-328-6000.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Transform your home into the most beautiful home in the neighborhood with Banner Construction, St. Louis's preferred James Hardy and Pella expert. Right now, the safest place to invest is in your home. Add curb appeal and value with a fresh new look you'll be proud to own. Check us out on the website or call 314-569-1050 for a free in-home design consultation. That's bannerconstruction.com or 314-569-1050 and have a banner day. Again, 314-569-1050 or bannerconstruction.com. Real estate prices are through the roof, right? Home buyers are paying way over asking price. You're tempted to sell, but you're not 100% sure you're ready to move. In a perfect world, you could sell your home for full value, bank the cash, and continue living there as long as you like. Well, I found your perfect world at Truehold.com. This is life-changing. Truehold will pay you 100% of your home's value, 100% in cash right now. And here's the best part. You don't have to move unless you want to. You can stay in your home as long as you'd like. Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance too. Let's review. Truehold pays you 100% of your home's value in cash within 30 days. Use your cash to do anything and everything you've dreamed of doing. Travel, pay off debt, or buy that new right-size home on the golf course. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com and discover the smarter, faster alternative to cashing out your home's full value without having to move. That's 855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Sweet pea, apple of my eye. Don't know when and I don't know why. You're the only reason I keep on coming home.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's a new week, but it's Valentine's Day, so you should have a little extra pep in your step. It's a good day. Just think about someone you care about and tell them you care about them. You don't even have to get them anything. Just tell them you care about them. Send a text to somebody now and say, just want you to know I'm thinking about you. Say a prayer for them and go about your day. That's priceless. It really is. We just got done speaking with Zack Smith at the Heritage Foundation about the bombshell report over the weekend that developed in the Durham Probe. I want to remind you at 1:25, we're going to speak with Congressman Rodney Davis about how Congress is going to follow up on this, especially if they were to get to the majority in November and potentially, have that access to stronger oversight. So stick around for 1:25 to speak with Congressman Rodney Davis. I'm extremely excited about our next guest, though. It is February, which is Black History Month, and a very important topic to talk about with, I can't think of a better guest to have than Dr. Alveda King, who's the chairman of the Center for the American Dream at America First Policy Institute. And Dr. Alveda King is with us now. Thank you so much for the time today. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Annie. And, before we go into maybe Black History Month, which in and of itself warrants discussion, Saint Valentine was a Catholic priest or something in the midst of pagan and Christian wars and all that many centuries ago, and he would do secret weddings. And so that's the origin of Valentine's Day. And St. Nicholas, as you know, from Santa Claus, same thing, a priest that would go around dropping money for dowries and things like that. So it's an interesting history, but the real fact, because my little Valentine's note usually has John 3:16, for God so loved the world.
Yeah, the greatest love.
Whether you have romantic love or not, we have God's love, and we can be nice to each other, and not only nice, but kind. Because the Bible says be kind. Do something kind for someone.
Man, we could just end right now. I don't even know how to top that. That's such a great point. Kindness is such it really is an easy thing to do, and everybody knows kindness, because when somebody shows you kindness, it kind of stops you in your tracks, doesn't it? Because it's in such rare form today, and it makes you want to give it. It makes you want to give it away, and like once you start that ball rolling, I think it really can make a difference.
Well, now guess what? At the height of the Black Lives Matter controversy, when we didn't know that Black Lives Matter movement was different from the Black Lives Matter organization. And so the Black Lives Matter organization, which was absolutely corrupt, but the movement was not, people were sending money into this organization, and the ladies, I think it was started by two lesbian women, and one of them was buying real estate with the money. And so when people found that out, they were very disappointed. And I said, God, what do I say? He said, when people start arguing Black Lives Matter, you should just say God's love matters. Every time in the midst of all the arguments, I say, I hear you. but God's love matters. Do you know it stopped every argument every time?
Yeah, I'm writing that down. I'm going to write that down right now.
God's love matters. God's love matters. And so that's the answer almost to, especially on Valentine's Day, and we can say that because, you know, if you don't have a romantic situation, God loves you. And we can be kind to each other. And whether we're arguing about critical race theory, I know you have some questions. We'll get to them. There's one human race. They're not separate races. There's one human race with different ethnicities. So we just point out the obvious and point out the truth and speak truth in love, and it can really stop arguments. It really can.
I love that. And, you know, I do have questions, but you're really answering some of them before I even get to ask, because I think I have no, you know, issue. I don't know really anybody who has an issue with celebrating Black History Month. But in this little, you know, release that I got from your organization, it talks about some people are like, why do we need to carve out one month to celebrate Black history? And you know, you make the point that it is American history, and there is so much that we can come together and celebrate here. But there are so many people out there in the world right now who don't want us to come together and have these conversations because the division is profitable and powerful for them.
They get paid to start arguments and then paid to stop the argument that they actually secretly started. And a lot of that is what's going on now. And as far as Black history is concerned, what has happened, it's easier to remember that America had a season of slavery, a terrible season of segregation, and there's still some segregation now among communities. And we can remember that, but we don't always remember the accomplishments. So the accomplishments need to be noted. And what I say to people is we don't want to forget any part of our history, because if you forget your history, you're bound to repeat it. We want to build on the foundation of all the good things. We want to repeat the good, and we want to correct those harmful things that happen. So we do need to know our history, but especially my daughter several years ago did the DNA testing for our family, and we already knew it, but we needed evidence. So my mother is like 60% Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With us, my grandfather, Martin Luther King Sr.'s grandfather, was Irish, Nathan Branham King. So we have Africa, Ireland, and my mom's dad, Square Reese, was part Cherokee.
Wow.
So I would always ask people, so what race am I? Oh, you're multiracial. No, I'm not. I'm human. So are you.
Yeah.
And
so
that's
us
where
together.
we got to that. And critical race theory, for real, it was so deceptive when it was thrown out as a divider, because nobody stopped to even ask, what is critical race theory? Critical race theory, the discussion really does need to be had. And so this was my point. Okay, you want to teach it in school? Teach that it is Marxist. Teach that it is socialist. Teach that there was a class of people that thought they were superior because of the color of their skin, and they wanted to be rulers of every other human being. Teach that. Teach that. Go ahead and teach it in school. Because when they threw it out and people say, well, we're not going to do that, that's divisive, without explaining why it's divisive, then it made us look like villains. So I said, no, let's have the conversation. Let's talk about the socialists and the Marxists. Let's talk about Hitler, who thought he was superior. Let's talk about Margaret Sanger, who founded Planned Parenthood, and she thought that there was a superior race that looked like her called Aryan. So if you're Italian, you won't make it in there either.
Yeah.
Or any other class of folks, even if you call yourself Caucasian, because she's gunning for you too.
Yeah.
And so people begin to quiet down as those of us who had that understanding to say, we're not afraid to have the conversation. We just want you to tell what it really is.
So accurate. We're speaking with Dr. Alveda King. She is the chairman of the Center for the American Dream at America First Policy Institute. She is on Twitter at Alveda C. King and AmericaFirstPolicy.com. Doctor, there are a lot of ways that I can take this that are political, but those conversations they just turn my stomach. You talked about kindness at the first part of this conversation, and it's a rare thing to come into contact with. We're all on the defense all of the time. So kindness is never the first option that comes to mind, but it is a very empowering thing to put into action. I'm wondering what your advice is for the people who are constantly bombarded with the politics of every issue because you cannot escape it, especially in interracial conversations or interracial relationships that people have in their workplace or in their community. How do we have these important conversations when the tensions obviously exist, when, certainly a lot of people who don't agree with what the ruling class says that we're supposed to say are being scared into just not even speaking on the issue? How do we have those conversations?
Let me speak a little further on that because I heard something you just said. Multiracial is not true because there's only one race.
Mm-hmm.
But interracial, within the human race, there are going to be some differences. They should be celebrated and not used to oppress each other. So within the human race, we do have ethnic and cultural differences, but we should not use those against each other. And let's say this, too, because I tell people all the time, you can be fake and be nice. They call it nice, nasty, and all that, but you cannot fake kindness. Kindness can't be faked. Niceness can be faked. So when we begin to go deeper into the human issues, I had that challenge recently because when President Biden, I'm not going to go too political, so don't worry about it, but President Biden, when he was saying something about giving crack pipes, because that's a compassionate thing to do, so the crack users won't get as sick. I was like, are you kidding me? Or give abortions to the underprivileged because that's the kind of thing. I said, sir, can you offer us something more than crack pipes and abortions? And so, but I wasn't being mean. It was just a general, let's dig a little deeper and find out how to really help people rather than doing something that would just wipe out a whole class of people. So, but when I pray for those who are in authority. It does not matter to me who the president is or the vice president, etc. I pray, Lord, let the eyes of everybody's understanding be enlightened so that we can all know the hope of our calling in Christ. And then you say, well, suppose I'm not a Christian. Okay, that's fine, but I am. So I don't have to be ashamed or embarrassed for praying a Christian prayer because I'm a Christian. You shouldn't expect me to pray any other prayer. But I'm not going to demand that you be a Christian. See, this is the thing about religious freedom. We live in the United States of America. Everybody still today can choose to be religious or not. So we can respect that and not try to make everybody be what we are. And I had to learn that with sensitivity. My uncle, Martin Luther King Jr., my daddy, his brother, Reverend A.D. King, my grandfather, Martin Luther King Sr., the men and women of our family would say, I'm not telling you to be what I am, but I have the right to tell you who I am.
Yeah. Amen.
And so we have to remember that still with kindness, with human kindness towards each other.
Dr. Alveda King, before I let you go, Black History Month is a month worth celebrating. How do you encourage people to acknowledge this month respectfully in the context of kindness and not in the context of the ugliness that often comes from the political world and the divisiveness that comes from there as well?
What we have done at America First Policy Institute, where I'm chairman of the Center for the American Dream and my own organization, Speak for Life, you can find me at alvedaking.com. We have highlighted during the month different African Americans from the past or who are presently making contributions, just to remind America that there are some very good things that have happened to the African American community and that have come forth from the African American community. And I think that that's okay. I feel good about it. And so I'm happy to recognize the accomplishments and to correct the things that have not been kind in the African American community.
Well, we celebrate with you and we are grateful for your time. You said alvedaking.com is the website?
That's the easiest place to find me, and all my other affiliations are there, alvedaking.com.
Well, we will absolutely and gladly do so. Thank you for sharing your kindness with us today. So many people responding on our live chat about how much joy you're bringing them, saying that they love listening to you. I certainly do as well, and we hope you come back soon.
Praise God. God bless you.
Yep,
Bye.
you as well. God bless you as well. Let's take a quick break. There's really not much that I can add to that. That's just such a wonderful conversation with somebody who, if you want to talk about Black history, talking to Dr. Alveda King, who is the niece of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., is a pretty awesome thing for us to be able to do. So we were grateful to have that possibility today. And I hope that you enjoyed it as well. Happy Valentine's Day. When we come back, everyone's favorite Valentine, Ryan Wiggins, is going to come in the studio and impart his wisdom upon us in Wiggins America. I wonder if Wiggins America has Valentine's Day. I bet it doesn't. Do you think it does? I mean,
yeah, but I think it's not like what we would think it would be.
It's like just another Ryan Wiggins birthday.
Yeah,
or you just give him
like
gifts.
that, yeah.
You don't even have to like him. Just give him
Right.
gifts. We'll find out. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Sometimes I'm out of control. You're the only reason I keep on.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Patty.
I loved the Rams when they were originally in St. Louis, and I'm sorry that Ronke owns it now. He's always going to be a horrible person, but the players aren't, and that's who we're rooting for.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
So there's a $53 heating system check available for you right now at Air Comfort Service. If your heater is not working well, you need to reach out to Air Comfort Service. This operation run by Corey Malone. These are such good people. St. Louis business, 53 years in the biz. They know what they're doing. They're very good at it. They're kind. They're fair. And they've supported this station for quite some time. And that means something because, of course, you understand that it's free to turn this show on and it's free to turn this show off. And it's because of people like Corey Malone and Air Comfort Service who make that possible. So if you're looking for somebody to check your heating system, if you need a whole replacement of your HVAC system or one installed, Air Comfort Service, these are good people. And they are waiting for you to give them a ring. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Celebrate 53 years of service at Air Comfort Service with their $53 heating system check. That's a $40 savings. You can do that and learn more online at aircomfortservice.com.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low 2.25% rate.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. Offset high prices with lower monthly payments or turn your home equity into cash.
Lock in this low rate while you can. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, join my blues.
NMLS 114937, 2.25% fixed, 3.336% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Hi, this is Andy Berg, board certified master arborist with Hanson's Tree Service. Before you know it, spring will be here, and along with it will come insects and mites that may feed on your landscape plants. Go to hansonstree.com to find out how we can service your trees today.
Hi, it's Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. As we go into a new year, it is a great time to get started on a new home loan. If you've been thinking about a cash-out refinance to pay off debt or update your home, act now while equity is at an all-time high and interest rates are still at historic lows. Maybe it's the year that you're going to reduce your term or get rid of the dreaded PMI. Perhaps this is the year that you buy a new home. Call me now so you can shop with confidence. When you call, there will be no gimmicks or sales pitch, just straightforward, upfront information on refinancing and home buying options. So call me today, 314-336-6050, 314-336-6050, or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, 224-143, NMLS 250353.
Selling your home's a huge deal. You want to sell it fast and for the highest price with zero hassles, right? Mark Cox here. That's why I always recommend Gloria Liu with GL International Realty and the Coldwell Banker Premier Group. Gloria continues to change the real estate game with multiple cash offers for her sellers. Above market bids with multiple cash offers in less than 24 hours, and she makes the process so easy. Gloria eliminates the hassles with no showings while you pick the closing date. Check this out. Andrew wrote, Gloria sold my home quickly above market value to an all-cash buyer, no hassles, delays, or problems. With Gloria Liu, two things are always guaranteed: your home sale and your price. Call Gloria today and get your cash offer at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years with a $53 special offer. If you're having problems with your heating system or just need it checked for a limited time, get either service for only $53. To get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Feels like I'm standing in a timeless dream.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
Of light mists, of pale amber rose.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Feels like I'm lost in a deep cloud of heavenly scent. Touching, discovering you.
China has been scrutinized and criticized by the international community for detention of Muslims, but that has not deterred Xi Jinping. He now wants to rewrite the Bible and the Quran.
Did that just say that President Xi wants to rewrite the Bible?
Wiggins! Oh, Wiggins! Indeed, that is exactly what he wants to do, the Bible and the Quran. And it plays into so many.
I think we're burying the lead
issues
here. I didn't know that the Bible was like a prominent, threatening book in China. So I'm happy about that.
Oh,
part.
yeah, absolutely. 100 million Christians in China and growing, and they can't keep track of how many because the underground church is growing way faster than the state-sponsored church, as it usually does, right? Because there's freedom in the underground church. The state-sponsored church called the Three Self Church.
Jesus.
And Jesus. Yes. hey, now who's burying the lead?
I know.
But yeah, so this has been going on for a few years. So the headline isn't that they're doing it, because that's apparently been going on since the middle of the Trump administration. They've been talking about doing that, and Mike Pompeo's had a lot to say about it. But what's happened more recently is that there apparently there is a full new communist approved version of the Bible. Now they're not letting that out.
Who's reporting on this?
Oh gosh, the Federalist and a couple other organizations.
I just wondered where you're getting your info
Sure. From. So the full Bible has not been made public, obviously. They're not going to do that. But in a couple of textbooks that have come out of China.
Is there a state religion?
Not really.
Government.
I mean, yeah, it really is. The CCP is the state religion. And anything that you want to believe has to be approved by them. So, yeah, I mean, that's typical communism, right? Is if you're in complete control, you want to control everything, even including religion. But there's been a couple of verses that have come out. I think it's by accident because they've come out of textbooks that have said verses in them and they're quoted wrong. And so people have said, oh, so this is what the rewritten Bible looks like. Care to hear one?
Sure.
Very famous verse, John 8:7-11. The actual verse says, let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her. Because we were talking about the prostitute standing there in front of Jesus. A crowd gathered to stone her. At this, those who had heard began to go away one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left, with the woman still standing there. Jesus straightened up and asked her, woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you? No one, sir. Then neither do I condemn you. Now go and leave your life of sin. That's the real verse. Here's the way it's been rewritten.
The old go and sin no more line.
Yep. Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her. Again, this is in the Chinese approved Bible now. At this, those who heard began to go away one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left. And then Jesus stoned the woman himself.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. And said, quote, I am also a sinner, unquote.
It's very un-Jesus of him.
So quite a bit to unpack there.
Wow.
But the first time I read that, I was shocked, and I don't know how you couldn't be. I mean, you have altered the entire gospel in 2 lines. Not just that, because you can see how they're saying, well, he also he was being authoritarian basically, and he stoned the woman for wrongdoing because that's what they do.
I'd like to read the story of the birth of Christ and the death of Christ, because what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah, but adding.
I mean, if you're a historian and not a Christian, you understand that Christianity is about not the world is sinful and broken, every single person, and Christ was the only perfect person, and that's the whole point of Christ being a savior, because if Christ wasn't perfect, he can't save you. So I don't think that fits. So I mean, like, how do they justify? I mean, it's just not Christianity.
It's not anymore. I mean, when you take away the infallibility of Christ, then yeah, it's no longer the gospel. But it plays into so many different things. I mean, my initial reaction as a Christian to this is to react to it, but then to think about sort of the headline news stories that we're talking about all the time with the genocide of the Uyghurs. This plays into that too, because they're altering the Quran and trying to basically eliminate dissent. And that's what they're doing in Western China with this genocide. But who knows what they're doing to the underground church? We just don't know.
I don't find it surprising at all that Christianity has been bastardized in a country that doesn't consider themselves, is the United States a Christian nation? You could say it is, but not from a state mandated. It's just there are a lot of people who have chosen to be Christian or are Christian, or however you want to say that. But I guess as a Christian, I don't want to be too terribly surprised that there are actors out there trying to screw up the story of Jesus. That's kind of the whole point of Jesus. It's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy in its own way, that way, that if you're going to believe this, honestly, this is something I was just talking to my dad about this recently, because I see people in the world, in my professional life. I mean, we see people do things that we don't understand. And from a political lane, we're the good guys, they are the bad guys, which is a sentence that anybody can say. Doesn't matter what side you are on, that's generally speaking what you think. But there are things that are done right now that are permitted by government that I believe are fully evil. And of course, if you've listened to the show for a long time, you know this. If you're new, newsflash, I'm vehemently pro-life. And I do not understand people who are willfully arguing that a baby is better off dead than poor or challenged if they were to be brought into the world under the worst of circumstances. How can you choose death as a preferable outcome to life before the child even gets a chance? Now, if we would acknowledge that, then we could reappropriate the $500 million of tax dollars that go to Planned Parenthood and put it all towards helping families adopt. Why aren't we having that conversation? Instead, for some reason, there's a political advocacy out there that says, nope, that baby should die. It's what's good for it. And there are people who go, yeah, that's freaking evil. Like, and I'm looking at that going, how is it possible to come to that conclusion? And the only thing that I can surmise is that it is actual evil. And then I think to myself as a Christian that if I believe in this big, powerful God who hates sin so much that he gave his son's life for it, then am I discounting the possibility that real evil exists? And that the Satan that I believe is active is actively out there working on people to perform evil, to bring people away from Christ. And if that's the case, like, if I'm going to believe in this big, strong savior, I have to believe that there's something out there that he had to defeat and is still working to defeat. And I discount that on a regular basis. And I think this China story is exhibit A.
You say you personally do? You just like examine and you said, I personally discount the idea that evil is just as real as good.
Nobody wants to believe that evil is real. That's a really frightening thought. But I mean, as a Christian, I believe in a loving God and a savior. What's he saving me from if there's nothing out there to save me from? And so in my ignorance, honestly, in my protected, cushy life, I suppose, it's easier for me to get from day to day as a mom just thinking, well, it can't be that bad out there. It's worse than that bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's worse because there's something out there that is working against, as a Christian. Again, I'm saying this as a Christian. I understand that might not be the life you walk, that we have to account for both of those things.
Yeah.
And to think that in China, like you're pointing out, that they're actively rewriting the Bible, well, of course they are.
Yeah, this is the outcome of authoritarian regime, pretty much power. This is the outcome of power.
Yeah.
Is nobody can take this power away from me. I have the power. If that's threatening my power, get rid of it. That's the point.
And when it comes to being a Christian and believing in a God, if he's not your God, then you yourself are God and you want all the power.
Yeah.
And
You
that's
become
evil.
God. Yeah.
Yep.
Without even wanting to, you become your own God.
Between Alveda King and Ryan Wiggins, thanks for coming to church with us.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's talk to Stephen Moore and Congressman Davis in a minute.
Real estate prices are through the roof, right? Home buyers are paying way over asking price. You're tempted to sell, but you're not 100% sure you're ready to move. In a perfect world, you could sell your home for full value, bank the cash, and continue living there as long as you like. Well, I found your perfect world at Truehold.com. This is life-changing. Truehold will pay you 100% of your home's value, 100% in cash right now. And here's the best part. You don't have to move unless you want to. You can stay in your home as long as you'd like. Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance too. Let's review. Truehold pays you 100% of your home's value in cash within 30 days. Use your cash to do anything and everything you've dreamed of doing. Travel, pay off debt, or buy that new right-size home on the golf course. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com and discover the smarter, faster alternative to cashing out your home's full value without having to move. That's 855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
Lakeside Renovation and Design is exclusive to Infinity from Marvin Fiberglass Windows. And these are beautiful, beautiful high-end windows. When you are looking to make that replacement in your house and get rid of those builder's grade windows, they've deteriorated over time. They're drafty. They're letting the cold air seep in. It's time to upgrade. And when you are looking to upgrade, you want to make sure that A, the windows are the best, but B, that they're going to be installed by people who know how to make sure that your investment into those windows is going to pay off. That's why you choose Lakeside Renovation and Design, because they are the very best. That's why Infinity from Marvin Fiberglass chose Lakeside to install their product exclusively, because they know that when they put their high quality product in the hands of Lakeside Renovation and Design, that it's going to be installed correctly and people are going to obviously be happy with their new windows. 636-978-5000 is the number to call. You can ask them about amazing financing options that they have, including 0% opportunities, online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc., from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visit your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
The truckers have company. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. A counter-protest springing up in Canada's capital, where some residents and businesses are fed up with disruptions from the protest over COVID mandates. Meantime, many restrictions are about to be eased in the province, including a proof of vaccine requirement ending March 1st.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he's not lifting the vaccination requirements because of the protests that have blocked the border between the U.S. and Canada, but because, quote, it's safe to do so. Masking requirements will be kept in place.
This is an important layer of protection that will allow us to proceed with our reopening plan safely.
He says starting Thursday, capacity limits will be removed except for sporting events, concerts, and theaters, which will be capped at 50%. The announcement follows days of protest by truckers over the COVID restrictions that had blocked the busiest U.S. and Canada border crossing and is still tying up traffic in the capital city of Ottawa.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, police clearing protesters from the Ambassador Bridge between Canada and Detroit over the weekend. President Biden back on the phone after a call with Russia's president over the weekend, speaking today with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who's holding out hope diplomatic efforts can succeed with more than 130,000 Russian troops still near Ukraine's border.
We've got to realize that this is a very, very dangerous, difficult situation. We are on the edge of a precipice, but there is still time for President Putin to step back. And what we're urging is for everybody to engage in dialogue.
The Russian president's own foreign minister urging him to keep talking with the West, even though the U.S. and NATO allies have rejected his key demands. The Coast Guard says a debris field has been found off the coast of North Carolina where a plane carrying 8 people disappeared from radar yesterday. An air traffic controller had reported that single-engine aircraft behaving erratically. America is listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
If you are a man over 40, listen up, because this could impact how much you're getting done during the day and at night. The harsh reality is, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. Here's the good news. Nugenix, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC, has changed the game again for men over 40 with Nugenix Total T, their most powerful man-boosting formula ever. And guys all over America are raving about it. Jeremy P. says, this is the best product I've found to raise T levels. I plan on using the product for the rest of my life. And how about Shane D? He says, I had no drive and was tanked out at the end of the day. After 3 months, my energy level is through the roof. I work out like most 19-year-olds. I am 47. Guys over 40, you need Nugenix Total T. And right now, you can get a complimentary bottle. Just text DIG to 42424. It's the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. But you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting DIG to 42424. That's DIG to 42424. Text DIG to 42424.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty nice afternoon for Valentine's Day and winter in St. Louis, partly to mostly sunny skies. Let's be hanging around 48 degrees much of the afternoon. Tonight, clear skies 22. Tuesday, sunny, cold early morning, but then noticeably warmer. Tuesday afternoon, a pop to 60 degrees. Rain moves in on Wednesday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
97.1 is St. Louis's radio destination for information with perspective.
Let's call the Lincoln Dinner for the state GOP what it is.
It's where St. Louis and beyond comes to talk.
It is the establishment party in Missouri. Now, everybody goes. Everybody plays the game.
Right here, right now.
But the conservatives, just like they're being treated in Jeff City right now, are the outcasts, generally speaking.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late-day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. That's right. Seminars, Sunday, February 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. Weight loss seminar, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 2 to 4 p.m. And Monday, February 28th at the 4 Points by the Sheraton Hotel in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 to 10 p.m. Registration begins 30 minutes before seminar.
Odyssey's Black History Month tribute spotlights incredible Black artists who have contributed their music to the world. Hear music from Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kanye West, and more. Search for Black Voices and Inspiration on the Odyssey app to listen. That's AUDACY.com.
Everyone deserves the retirement they have always wanted. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, protecting your life savings along with growth potential is key. When your nest egg is protected from market losses, the fear and anxiety of not being able to retire are no longer part of the equation. That is the first step. Our sole focus is on you. I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group, and we'll show you how to protect your retirement accounts from market losses and generate more income than most investment options. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll design your own personalized, structured income plan that will show you exactly how to retire comfortably. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. I've been helping retirees and pre-retirees to retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Del Walmsley here. The first thing you're going to have to learn is until you stop expecting politicians or anyone else to change your life isn't going to change. The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
You could be on your way to a better lifestyle and experience the life of your dreams. Tune in to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. Weeknights at 7, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hi, this is Lance Drury. If you have payroll tax problems, you have serious legal problems, you need an attorney. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by the Loading Dock, with a unique and beautiful ice skating rink to enjoy this time of year. Go to graftonloadingdock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Before we go, who do you got in the Super Bowl tonight?
The St. Louis Rams.
There you go. Thank you so much, Jason. Mark, back to you.
That's about all I know about the Super Bowl. That's Jason Tatum, Chaminade grad here from St. Louis. He plays for the Boston Celtics. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's a Celtic.
It's like the third draft pick or whatever, I think.
That's the extent of my knowledge. He plays for the Celtics.
Jason Tatum asked before the Super Bowl who's going to win, and he said the St. Louis Rams, and then he kind of just slinked out of there. I'm going to be honest, guys. I was kind of going back and forth about this. I watched 0% of the Super Bowl. I don't even know what channel it was on. I have seen 0 commercials. I have watched none of the halftime show. I've seen a lot of the memes that are coming out of it and the GIFs that are coming out of it. I knew nothing, but I didn't have to because Brad was our Super Bowl correspondent.
Yeah,
and
sure.
You watched it and you are going to report. What is it that you would want me to know about the Super Bowl?
Kroenke won.
Yeah.
And that's stupid.
St. Louis lost.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't know if St. Louis actually lost, but I didn't stick around to watch him get the trophy because, like, at the end, I imagined that it was kind of like the last scene in Dirty Dancing where Roger Goodell has the trophy and Stan Kroenke runs up to him and he hoists them up in the air and then they embrace.
Goodell hoists Stan Kroenke in the air?
Up in the air like
Dirty Dancing?
Yeah, like baby.
Yeah,
And
that's really close to the actual end of Dirty Dancing is Roger Goodell.
Did you watch it?
I didn't see the end.
Can we reconvene on this issue in the 2:00 hour?
Yeah, sure.
And get a report and anybody who's listening who wants to talk to us about the Super Bowl, I just didn't watch any of it. I couldn't stomach it. And I thought the only reason I would do it is so I could talk about it today. And there's way too much news to talk about today that I didn't need to. So we'll get a recap. We'll get the vibe.
Yep.
And Ryan will have you back in here soon. Sound good?
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Listen to Nancy Pelosi. You're talking about inflation.
But the fact is that the rise in employment and President Biden, nearly 7 million jobs in his year in office. So yes, we have inflation. It's very important for us to address it. We must bring it down. But it's not right, with all the respect in the world for my friend Joe Manchin, it's not right to say that what we are doing is contributing to inflation, because it is exactly the opposite.
The other thing that's weighing on
17 Nobel laureates, the Joint Tax Committee.
That's Nancy Pelosi saying it's not right for Joe Manchin, public enemy number one, I suppose, for the Democratic Party, but hero and savior for the American people. Ironic how those two things can be the same. Saying that what the Democrats are doing is contributing to inflation. Well, let's ask an expert about that, someone who actually knows what they're talking about instead of Nancy Pelosi. Stephen Morris here, senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks, author of GovZilla, which you can get right now. Stephen, I got to ask you, is what the Democratic Party is doing, the Biden administration doing right now, is it contributing to inflation or not?
Is that a loaded question?
You got like 15 minutes.
Of course, when you borrow and spend trillions and trillions of dollars and you end up printing the money, any fifth grader understands that you pour more money into the economy and you're going to cause prices to rise. And, they use some funny numbers on that inflation report. You and I haven't talked since the latest inflation report came out, saying 7.5%. And it looks like they have made these various adjustments to the numbers. Inflation was running well over 8%. It may be as high as 9%. So these are gigantic increases. They're really killing the poor. I love how the left keeps talking about how they want to get rid of injustice and inequality. And the people they're hurting the most with their policies are people living on fixed incomes who make less than $50,000 a year. They're getting just pummeled. And so, Joe Manchin is a hero for blocking this bill. There's no possible rationale today, now that the economy is almost completely getting back to normal because of the COVID is in, very rapid retreat. Let's just return to normal and stop the spending. In fact, if I were advising Joe Biden, which I'm not, obviously, I would say let's cut every government program by 10%.
10%.
Yeah, let's just start by, we spent trillions and trillions of dollars we don't have. Let's get going. Let's get the economy moving, and let's cut every government spending program by 10%.
That would be drastically impacting the economy, I would assume, very quickly.
Very positively. I mean, cutting government spending is the most important thing you can do to get the economy moving faster. The Democrats believe the opposite. And don't you love this argument? But gee, if we spend $5 trillion more on Build Back Better, we're going to actually reduce inflation. Can somebody please explain the logic of that to me?
Yeah.
I mean, really.
That's way over my head.
Any rational person believe that?
I think it's important that you talk about cutting spending because, I'll challenge the Republican side of the aisle a bit because they've had the ability to cut spending and they don't do it either. Everyone's too afraid to do it. How do we actually get to the point where somebody gets in there and says, just like we would have to with our own personal budgets, if the money wasn't coming in the way it was going out, we gotta cut somewhere. How does that actually come to be?
Through the people, we the people. Look what's happening in Canada. I mean, the Canadian truckers. It looks like that. Those protests are now disbanding, but they completely won. Right? They caught the attention of not just the entire country of Canada, not just North America, but all around the world. People heard their voices, and they have really elicited change in a peaceful way. People just expressing their opinions. And I just find it fascinating, Annie, that the left has turned against working class America. Have you noticed that? I mean, they are so disparaging of the just everyday working class, in this case, Canadians who rose up in rebellion. How dare they? How dare these people question the authorities? The government's there trying to help them. Don't they understand? No, we don't want to be bossed around anymore. People are just getting sick of it. Of all the rules and regulations and mandates and edicts, you got to do this, you got to do that. Leave us alone. Let us make our own decisions.
Stephen Moore, senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks, on with us right now. I understand, though, why they aren't sick of the mandates. I understand why they're not tired of them, because they don't follow them. The rules don't apply to them. And we're seeing that at the Super Bowl this weekend, where they're all, it's story after story after story, and America hates hypocrisy, and it is rampant. But when you look at the Super Bowl and nobody's wearing a mask there, and all these high ups in government and in Hollywood are not wearing masks, isn't it time we just say we're done?
Are you saying that liberals have double standards?
They have to have some standards.
Shocked to hear that. If they have them, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're completely right. People are tired of there is an arrogance of the elite class, the political class around the world, that they believe that they are smarter than us and they can make decisions for us. And by the way, they're responsible people, so they don't have to live by the rules that they set for the rest of us. And we've got to just get back to America when it was pre-Trump, COVID, when we had the economy booming. We didn't have. By the way, somebody's got to explain to me, when Trump had the economy booming, the inflation rate was 2%. Under Biden, we're at 8%. In 1 year.
Yeah.
How do you go from 2% inflation to 8% inflation in 1 year? That's pretty bad.
Mark on our Facebook page says, can you ask Steve what effect will a Ukrainian war have on our economy in the United States? You partner that with Biden's, almost day one, if not day one, initiative to shut down the Keystone pipeline and to, give the thumbs up to what Russia is doing for energy. Is this conflict that's going on the Ukrainian-Russian border going to affect our economy as well?
Well, by the way, I love doing your show because you have such smart, listeners. And so this is obviously somebody who's very well informed. And, the question answers itself. Of course, we have to, what's going on in the Ukrainian border right now, folks, I hope this is a 5-alarm, signal to people that we've got to start doing something about our national security. And where is Putin getting all this money for his war machine? You know the answer to that. He's getting them from oil and gas because we're playing right into his hands. I mean, this is the most destructive thing about the Biden presidency. It is that he does not put America first in his calculations. Trump always did. And he didn't always make the right decisions. He made a lot of really good decisions. He didn't always make them right, but he always did things that he thought were putting America first. How in the world is not building the Keystone pipeline, green lighting the pipeline, from Russia to Germany, canceling leases in Alaska and around the country, and declaring war on American energy? How in the world is that in the interest of the United States? All we're doing, the biggest winners from Biden's energy policy, Annie, are Russia and China.
Yeah, and empowering them in this moment in time doesn't seem to be benefiting the United States quite at all. We're speaking with Stephen Moore, author of Govzilla, which you can get right now. Let's talk about China a little bit, because the spotlight is certainly on Russia and Ukraine. China is doing its China thing. It seems to be like under the radar, like it's not a true focus. We certainly heard the Trump administration talking about China on a regular basis. What are they doing right now while Biden is in the Oval Office? Have they taken extra steps, assuming that he's weak, the way a lot of people are suggesting Putin has taken advantage of the situation?
Of course. I mean, I've said this so many times on your show, but it's worth repeating. It's an old quote from Ronald Reagan that weakness is provocative. Weakness is provocative. That's what that means, is that when we look weak, as we did under Jimmy Carter and now under Biden, the rest of the world takes advantage of it. It's the schoolyard bully, right? You don't back down to a bully, or else they're going to keep kicking sand in your face. Right? Yeah. And that they view Biden as weak. And why not? Look at the embarrassment of what happened in Afghanistan. Look at the embarrassment of our energy policies. Look at the embarrassment of our massive debt. They're scoffing at us, and this makes the world a dangerous place for the Ukrainians, for the people in Taiwan, for the people in Hong Kong, and for us as Americans. We can't even control our own damn border. How are we gonna contain the border at the Ukraine and the Russia?
I don't know. It seems like maybe those Canadian truckers, they took care of our northern border. I keep saying put them down on the southern border too. Before we let you go, I saw here on the Fox Business article, Elon Musk is talking about skyrocketing national debt. He said something has got to give. I just want to get your response to that. For the average person listening right now, like myself, when you have skyrocketing national debt and something has got to give, what does that actually look like for the person who's just trying to make ends meet and feed their family and be independent?
Well, the problem is inflation is just a big tax on everything you buy. Every time, it's like an additional sales tax, right? Of 5 or 6 or 7% every time you buy things, and it's just killing everyday Americans. And it's always a story that has a very unhappy ending, because once you get inflation out of control, then you got to pull it all back. It's the hangover effect that I'm very worried about. So I'm And by the way, almost, I bet everybody listening to this show, I don't care if you're liberal or conservative or Republican, Democrat, agrees that what we're doing right now is wrong. It's wrong for our country, wrong for our children. So why in the world would anybody support another $5 trillion?
Yeah.
Talk about pouring gasoline onto a forest fire. I mean, that would be completely absurd. And, you know, people ask me, is Build Back Better really dead? And my answer, Annie, is this. I will believe Build Back Better is dead a year from now when we take the gavel from Nancy Pelosi and she's no longer Speaker of the House.
Yeah, still work to do for sure. And it's important that people stay attuned to that. Thank you so much, Stephen Moore. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. We appreciate you being here.
Always great to be with you. Take care.
You too. Senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks, at Stephen Moore on Twitter. You can go to freedomworks.org. And I highly encourage you to check out that book of his, Govzilla, The Relentless Growth of Government is Devouring Our Economy and Our Freedom. You can find it on Amazon. Let's take a quick break. Right now, it's 1:21. You can donate your car to Goodwill and get 2022 Cardinal tickets at mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Cardinals. When we come back in about 5 minutes, we're going to speak with Congressman Rodney Davis. He is the congressional representative for the 13th District. He is currently my representative. He's been redistricted out of my area. But he's had stuff to say with us before about what he's going to do if he is part of the Congress that gets the gavel, just like Stephen Moore was just saying, when it comes to oversight. And when I saw his reaction to the news of the Durham Probe, that they have evidence that the Hillary campaign paid to spy on the Trump campaign, and not just the Trump campaign, but the Trump White House, the executive office of the President of the United States, Congressman Rodney Davis tweeted that and said somebody needs to go to jail. We'll ask him about that in just a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
And what's the point of hiding? Everybody knows we got unfinished business. And I'll regret it if I didn't say this isn't what it could be.
Nobody else is reporting what we are. So if you want to make sure you're not missing the most important stuff, follow 97.1 on Facebook or Twitter. If you're lucky, they'll let you see a good 25% of it.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
This planet is so incredibly beautiful that I can't get enough of it. I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail, and Good Feet was with me all the way. Your passion's important, but if your body aches and if your heel feels like you've got a nail stuck in it and won't come out, trust me, it's going to wear you down. The Good Feet store knew what they were talking about and took the time to really dial in what I needed. I hiked 84 miles in the Himalaya and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for Good Feet?
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Start the new year on a better foot. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
This is a place where your daily experience is the focus. A stunning locale of exceptional care and attention, where community comes together and new friendships form, where activities are limitless and amenities unsurpassed, and where you are surrounded by excellence. This is Allegro Richmond Heights, assisted living, memory care. Live beautifully. For a tour, call 314-202-5989 or visit allegroliving.com.
The markets experienced a sudden plunge in the first quarter of 2020, but rebounded quickly. A reminder that it's important to focus on long-term goals instead of short-term events. But are you now getting caught up in the let it ride mentality during this unchecked market growth? It's important to keep an eye on the big picture in up and down markets. I'm Lori Heisey with Heisey Advisory Group. We all know that no one can predict when the next market drop will be or how far it will fall, but market volatility is nothing new. Call 314-328-6000 to get your copy of our Riding Market Highs brochure to learn steps to take to help position your portfolio against potential risk during times of growth. Call 314-328-6000. That's 314-328-6000.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
So when I listened to Joe talking about a transition, there's been no transition from when I won. I won that election. And if you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our first lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition.
There's President Trump speaking in, was that the first debate that they had? Was that the dumpster fire debate?
Yeah, that was the first one with Chris Wallace.
Where everybody in the country is the most uniting moment of the country where we were all just watching with our jaws dropped. Like, what's happening? But he's right. What he's saying there is right. And if you are somebody who detests the way Donald Trump goes about his business, if you were paying attention to what the Durham Probe has revealed here in this weekend, which honestly, to some extent, we've known this for a long time. But if you understand that Donald Trump was spied on in his campaign and spied on in the executive office of the president of the United States, you'd be pretty pissed off too, wouldn't you? You'd have a chip on your shoulder and you'd come out swinging because you know that they're trying to get you around every corner. Well, I saw on Twitter as I was scrolling through and trying to soak in the reaction of this, Congressman Rodney Davis tweeted this story out and said somebody needs to go to jail. And we've heard Nickelback, so we know that can mean only one thing on this show. Congressman Rodney Davis joins us. Congressman, thank you so much for your time today. Quite a weekend of news with this Durham report, or probe, I should say.
You know, it's you said it just a second ago. It's not shocking to those of us who have seen this coming, but in the end, this should shock the American people that you had government officials at the time during the Obama administration who decided it was a good idea to break the law and spy on another president's campaign. And then, and to top it off, they took it into the White House. I mean, you want to talk about a silent coup, and everything the president said during that debate on this issue is 100% true.
I think that this should be jarring for anybody who hears this. We're so polarized on specifically the man Donald Trump, but politics in general. But, you know, here's a question for you, Congressman Davis. If we found out that a foreign entity did what the Hillary Clinton campaign did, would there be problems between our country and that country if we discovered this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you would talk sanctions. I mean, the UN would pee themselves about how to address the United States being angry at some other country, and then everybody'd sit around in the diplomatic dinner tables that they go to and talk. Unfortunately, now it's post-election. Good people like John Ratcliffe, who went to go work in the Trump administration, he did yeoman's work of getting this evidence to John Durham and making sure that those who broke the law in a way that I agree, they should be in jail. They're going to be held accountable, and I can't wait.
So you could have a role in that. Obviously, you're in the House of Representatives. You got to win an election every 2 years. You're running in the 15th now because the Illinois Democrats wanted to make things fair and equitable for all of the constituents across the state. They redistricted the map with an Etch-a-Sketch. So you're running in the 15th right now. And you've talked previously, not about this specific issue, but about what could be coming should the Republicans take the House of Representatives, take the majority, especially if they take it with the majority that it looks like they could surmount in this next election. How does this story fit into the oversight that could be coming for wrongdoings in the past?
Oh, this will be a major story. And frankly, if we're going to have select committees that have turned into political circuses like the January 6th one, at some point we need to make sure that at least our committees of jurisdiction are going into what went wrong within this case. We need to hold those accountable who broke the law that were in law enforcement and should have been trusted. We need to hold those who are accountable who are going to be indicted who may have been part of the Obama administration. This is something we're finding out more and more, that there was a lot wider net. But when you look at my role is going to be as the chair of the House Administration Committee. That's the only committee on the House side whose sole goal and sole task will be to hold Nancy Pelosi responsible for the dumb decisions she's made over the last 3.5 years as Speaker.
We're speaking with Congressman Rodney Davis of the 13th District, which is also my district currently. I want to ask you, I'll put all the cards on the table here. I don't think what America needs is another political sideshow. Americans, people who listen to the show, I myself want to see enough happen that ensures that this isn't going to occur again, that the Republicans can't, be in power and try to retain power. I'm reading stories that there was a definitive way in which Donald Trump would tear the papers that he wanted to destroy. And they could tell by the way the paper was torn that Donald Trump himself tore it. But I'm not hearing from the same entities that are reporting on that Hillary Clinton spied on the Oval Office. They're not covering this. And if the media is not going to hold these people accountable, which they should be, if they're not going to practice actual journalism, if this gets into the hands of congressional oversight, is it a political sideshow, or is something going to happen that's going to stop this from occurring again and give consequences out to the people who perpetuated it in the first place?
There has to be consequences. And I believe the Durham report will lead to indictments, and those indictments are going to have to be handled by the Department of Justice. And if they're not, I do believe you'll see us as Republicans exercise our oversight responsibility as to why those decisions were or were not made. But keep in mind, Annie, this is it's just too obvious right now. The evidence is clear. They need to be held accountable in a criminal way. And it's going to be up to the DOJ to do their job. And the American people are going to be watching to make sure they do.
We're speaking with Congressman Rodney Davis. I want to ask you, in the midst of all of this, Donald Trump is at the center of this. And there's really nobody on the face of the planet, I don't think, that has an opinion on the man, Donald Trump. It doesn't matter if it happened to Donald Trump. If this happened to Joe Biden, if this happened to Barack Obama, if this happened to George W. Bush or anybody, it would be just incredibly wrong. I mean, to me, it seems treasonous to think that you would try to spy on the office of the president of the United States in order to form, not even to catch him in a crime that you thought he was in the middle of committing, but just to form a narrative that would bring him down. Is this going to have any bipartisan support, or will this just continue to be if you're for this, you're pro-Trump. If you're against this, you hate the man?
Well, one thing I've learned since the Democrats took over the majority, and even before that, when President Trump won, some people that I thought had common sense on the other side of the aisle just remind me that it's more about politics, it's more about being dishonest, and it's more about power to them than doing what's right for our country. So are there going to be some Democrats that I hope that will use common sense and say this needs to be investigated? Yes, I certainly hope so. But that will be a clear minority. Mm-hmm. We'll have the Adam Schiffs of the world continue to justify his lying. We'll have many others continue to go out and try and spread a false narrative. And the key really is going to be, and you said it earlier, where are the journalists? Where's the mainstream media in looking at this? If this were the other way around, there would have been impeachment proceedings against any Republican who could have been impeached. They would have been calling for long jail sentences, life sentences, and something would have had to have been done. And we got to stand up as Republicans and demand something has to be done.
I completely agree, and I'm holding you and anybody else who has the position accountable for doing that. And I know you have that high standard as well. People need to see that you can't just do this stuff and get away with it. I mean, this is beyond movie script type of stuff now. This is big stuff, and people need to see that people are going to be held accountable. Since I have you on the line right now, and I know this is kind of breaking news right now, but Fox News is reporting that a Russian invasion is scheduled for Wednesday. I didn't know that we scheduled these things 48 hours in advance, but it looks like it's imminent that Russia is intending to invade Ukraine. I'm just curious from your position there in Congress, how the administration has handled this so far and how the American people are involved in this conflict. What kind of reaction do you have to this?
The Biden administration could not have handled Ukraine any worse. And when you look back at how the Bidens have been involved in the Ukraine and Ukrainian politics for years, and keep in mind, President Trump was impeached over a phone conversation with the president of Ukraine. I think the Democrats in Washington saw that this could be a tinderbox, and this administration could not have done worse. We have now seen a U.S. president okay what he termed a minor incursion by Russia into Ukraine. What if Vladimir Putin was okay with a minor incursion into the United States? I mean, would Joe Biden say take Alaska? Would he say take Hawaii? How about Guam? How about some of the territories? It's absurd to go from where we were under President Trump with a Reagan doctrine of peace through strength to where we are the Neville Chamberlain of global affairs right now.
Well, yeah, it's a pray for your country moment. I think it doesn't matter which side or which shirt you wear, the red one or the blue one. It's a pray for your country and pray for those countries that are, feeling the pressure of some of the dictators that we have in the world. And we're grateful that you're on with us today, Rodney Davis. Before I let you go, can I ask you to comment a little bit on what's going on in the state of Illinois? You're a congressional representative in the state of Illinois. You represent a lot of central Illinois into southern Illinois. And that mask mandate ruling that came out that granted the temporary restraining order to the named, like if you're a kid who was involved in this, whose family was involved in this lawsuit, you now get to go to school maskless. But those rules don't apply to the other kids there. It doesn't really make much sense to me. Governor Pritzker has said on February 28th that the grownups get to take off their masks, but those kids in schools, we're gonna keep that requirement for those children. What is going on in this state? How much of an outlier is Governor Pritzker and the state of Illinois when it comes to this type of tyrannical ruling?
Well, we're going to find out how much of an outlier he is in the next election when we get a Republican governor elected. Governor Pritzker has continued to show me and many Illinoisans, I'm assuming you too, Annie, just how much of a disaster he's been. I do believe that when you look at Judge Grishow's her temporary restraining order, it was well written. And it should not only apply to those families who decided to have the courage to be a part of that suit. It should apply to everybody. And after we watched every celebrity in Los Angeles and the mayor obviously hold his breath for an entire Super Bowl.
It's really amazing, honestly.
It is crazy. And look, I've had a chance to get to know Mayor Garcetti through some transportation issues. And the last thing Mayor Garcetti needed to be known for is the, today's version of I didn't inhale. It's absurd. Get rid of the mask for the kids. It's really causing harm. Think about being a young kid trying to learn speech patterns and you can't see your teacher's lips move. It's setting our kids back. It's absurd. Stop it now, Governor. Stop it, Illinois Education Association. And one last thing on this. I just saw a story about those organizations are worried about kids who wear masks being bullied. What about the mask vigilantism these kids have faced when they had it down over their chin for some reason to be able to breathe. I don't want to hear it. I want to see those kids be able to get back to normalcy, get back to school, get better at learning and being educated, because they are falling far, far behind.
Yeah, I agree with you, Congressman Davis. Thank you so much for coming on with us, and we look forward to following this story, and we hope that you come back and comment on it as we get more developments.
Well, you got Nickelback. I'm always coming back.
Yeah, I heard them come on the radio yesterday, and I said to my husband, I'm like, they're really not that bad. And he's like, no, they're not. They're not that bad. And I thought of you, Congressman Davis. You were their ambassador.
Well, your husband's a smart man.
He is. He's a very smart man. We'll talk to you again soon, Congressman Davis. Thank you so much.
See you.
Bye-bye. 13th District Congressman there, running now in the 15th because of the redistricting in the state of Illinois. We're talking about those kids and masking. I want to remind you that tomorrow, I want to personally invite you to come out to your school district office, and we're having a Show Me Your Smiles rally. It's a rally. It's not a protest. We want to positively influence and thank our the people who are on the school board. They're your neighbors. They live in your community. And if they have, I know so many people across the state of Illinois, specifically in the Metro East, who have told me, like, message me, like, my kid's going maskless tomorrow for the first time. And it's just like Christmas morning. It's better than Christmas morning for these kids. Every child needs to have the right to choose with their family what they want to do about that mask. You want to wear a mask? Wear a mask. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And when my kids got to go maskless at school, we had the conversation ahead of time that what other people do with their mask is none of your business. And don't ever, ever look at another kid and say, you should take your mask off. And if someone looks at your face and says, you should put a mask on, just say, no, thank you, and walk away. We manage our own business, right? Well, we want to support those kids. We want to see their smiles. I will be at the Edwardsville School District building because that's where my tax dollars go tomorrow from 3:30 to 5 p.m. in a positive show of support to see those kiddos smile. And I would love to see you there. And if you are in a different school district, go to your school district building. Edwardsville, Collinsville, Granite City, Alton, I believe, are schools. I'm not 100% sure. Alton might have gone mask optional. I'll have to check on that. But regardless, show support for the kids. That's what we're doing. We want to show the kids that we care about them, we love them, and we love their smiles. You can go to the Annie Frey Show Facebook page to get details about it. It is statewide, folks. This is a statewide effort all across the state of Illinois. Tomorrow, people are going to be from 3:30 to 5 at their local school district buildings with a sign of support for those kiddos. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get an update from Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby. The news headline here is that Wednesday is the day. Russia is moving on Wednesday. We'll get the details on that in just a minute. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Reardon Show. Former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker.
What do parents really care about? We believe that schools should be open and that our kids shouldn't have to have the mandate. We should make that choice ourselves. Don't piss off parents.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, my guy for my home refinances. One time we did it to secure that lower rate. You can shorten the length of your loan as well. If you had a 30-year loan, you paid off a few years of it, the rates have gone down since then. You can say, you know what, I'm going to go down to a 20-year loan or a 15-year loan. And when you lower that interest rate, sometimes it evens out pretty easily, and you save a ton of money on your interest payments because you don't have to make as many. If you are looking to take cash out to make a payment on maybe some high interest credit card debt, or, you know, an investment in something, or a fixing up of your house, Stewie can help you with all of this. He can walk you through the whole process. And when you call or text 314-324-4440, then you get Stewie. That's his phone number. That's his contact. It's right in his pocket right now. 314-324-4440. Call him or text him. Say, Annie said hi. I need a bagel loan. You could just say that, and he will set you up. When you use the bagel loan, he doesn't charge you fees that everybody else out there is going to charge you for. It's seriously a no-brainer. It certainly was for my family. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show at the Arnold Eagles Hall in Arnold, Missouri. Browse tables of firearms, ammo, knives, books, and military items. Buy, sell, or trade. Admission's only $9. Kids under 12 free with a paid adult. And parking is free. Don't miss the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show this weekend at the Arnold Eagles on 1725 Jeffco Boulevard. For complete information, visit MissouriArms.com. The Missouri Arms Collectors Association is a not-for-profit NRA-affiliated club.
Selling your home's a huge deal. You want to sell it fast and for the highest price with zero hassles, right? Mark Cox here. That's why I always recommend Gloria Liu with GL International Realty and the Coldwell Banker Premier Group. Gloria continues to change the real estate game with multiple cash offers for her sellers. Above market bids with multiple cash offers in less than 24 hours, and she makes the process so easy. Gloria eliminates the hassles with no showings while you pick the closing date. Check this out. Andrew wrote, Gloria sold my home quickly, above market value, to an all-cash buyer, no hassles, delays, or problems. With Gloria Liu, two things are always guaranteed: your home sale and your price. Call Gloria today and get your cash offer at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brenton at 314-375-2020 or go online to BrentonVision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brenton Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brenton. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brenton Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at BrentonVision.com.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar Monday, February 28th at the 4 Points by Sheraton Hotel in Fairview Heights. Time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Stop Smoking seminar starts at 8 p.m. Registration starts at 7:30.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you have heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple on the station as the financial expert for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend on 97.1 FM Talk. And in case you miss any of those shows, on his podcasts on Odyssey.com and search Safe Money 97.1. So call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 52 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
It's a beautiful night. We're looking for something.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Hey, baby. I think I want to marry you.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I want to get straight to some coverage right now from the State Department. Are we going with Ned Price, Brad? Okay, Ned Price is a State Department spokesperson, and Fox News had the lower third up that said that Russia's going to invade on Wednesday, which is an interesting thing to say. I didn't know we announced those invasions. Maybe we do. I don't know. Maybe Russia does. Let's listen to what Ned Price is saying. He is taking questions right now from the press. Brad, let's go to it.
I'm sure you all have seen the recent travel advisory updates for Ukraine and the announcement that came out just a short time ago. So let me start by saying this. We don't take this sort of action without the most thorough deliberation. And over the course of the last few days, These deliberations have led to a series of staffing changes in Ukraine. We feel all of these actions were absolutely necessary, and decisions were made with one thing and one thing in mind, and that is the safety and security of U.S. citizens and our colleagues on the ground. Now, let me tell you what made this necessary. Russia's continued escalation and seriously threatening military posture, as we have all seen in recent weeks and recent days. We are basing our assessment on what we are seeing on the ground with our own eyes, which is a continued and unprovoked Russian buildup on the border with Ukraine and no accompanying evidence of de-escalation. It is a distinct possibility, perhaps more real than ever before, that Russia may decide to proceed with military action. With new Russian forces continuing to arrive at the Ukrainian border and Russian forces staged all around Ukraine, an invasion, as we have said, could begin at any time. Should Putin decide to order it, there would be widespread human suffering. All the while, we are actively working to try to reach a diplomatic solution, and we remain engaged with the Russian government following President Biden's call with President Putin over the weekend. But since no one has full visibility into President Putin's decision-making, and there hasn't, as I said before, been any tangible sign of de-escalation, we have taken the prudent steps of updating the travel advisory for Ukraine to urge U.S. citizens to leave Ukraine immediately using any available mode of transportation. And now, most recently, as you saw just a little bit ago, we are in the process of relocating our diplomatic staff from Kyiv to Lviv. The staff in Lviv, including our chargé, Christina Kivin, will remain engaged with the Ukrainian government, coordinating on diplomatic efforts. We will continue our close coordination with Ukraine as well as with our allies and partners. Russia, if it sought to do so, has failed in its goal of dividing the United States and our allies and partners. If anything, we are more united as we confront Russia's threats and aggression. We are intensifying our efforts to deter Russia and to impose costs should Moscow decide to go ahead with military action. Whatever happens next, we are resolute in our support for Ukraine's sovereignty, for Ukraine's territorial integrity, and we will continue our assistance to the people of Ukraine. It remains unclear to us whether Russia is interested in pursuing a diplomatic path as opposed to the use of force. We remain committed to keeping the prospect of de-escalation through diplomacy alive. We will remain committed to doing that for as long as we can. But Russia must de-escalate and engage in genuine dialogue and diplomacy. Next, before I take your questions, one additional element, I want to take a moment to explain the executive order that President Biden signed on Friday. As we are all acutely aware, the people of Afghanistan face enormous challenges: an economic crisis born of decades of dependence on international aid, severe drought, COVID-19, endemic corruption, among others. Afghan central bank reserves held at the Federal Reserve have been inaccessible for months, in part because of the uncertainty regarding who could authorize transactions on the account, but also due to pending litigation by 9/11 victims and other victims of terrorism. Victims of terrorism, including of the September 11th terrorist attacks, have brought claims against the Taliban, and they are pursuing the central bank's remaining assets in federal court. This administration will continue to support these victims and their families, recognizing the enduring pain they have suffered at the hands of terrorists, including those who operated from Afghanistan prior to the September 11th attacks. These victims and their families should have a full opportunity to set forth their arguments in court, and they will. We have no idea how long that litigation will take, and in the meantime, the humanitarian and economic situation in Afghanistan continues to deteriorate by the day. That is why President Biden signed the executive order on Friday to preserve and protect those reserves as part of an effort to make $3.5 billion available for the Afghan people. Fundamentally, this EO is aimed at protecting and preserving funds for the benefit of the Afghan people. And we've taken further steps to set aside $3.5 billion for such uses to try to clarify that they cannot be attached or seized. The objective is to make these funds available for the Afghan people without having to wait for the full court process to conclude. No decision has been made about how these funds will ultimately be used to benefit the Afghan people, many of whom are also victims of terrorism. Whatever mechanism is established, it will be designed to minimize the risks the funds end up in the hands of the Taliban or other sanctioned individuals or groups. It is ultimately up to the courts to determine whether the remainder of these funds should go to victims of terrorism who hold judgments against the Taliban. These funds will continue to be the subject of ongoing litigation in U.S. courts by victims of terrorism. These victims and their families, as we've said, should have a full opportunity to set forth their arguments. This action marks a significant step forward in the United States' effort to authorize the transfer of a significant portion of the funds to meet the needs of the Afghan people. I want to reiterate, Friday's executive order was a step towards making a significant portion, $3.5 billion of these funds accessible to the Afghan people. And this action demonstrates that America's ties to the people of Afghanistan, built during 2 decades of working side by side, are steadfast and enduring. And with that, I'll be happy to take your questions.
Thanks, Ned. Can I just, on Ukraine, your comments just now and the decision to close the embassy, move to Lviv, would seem to suggest that you don't put a lot of faith in the comments that Foreign Minister Lavrov made this morning about, there's still time for diplomacy to work here. Is that a fair assessment of your understanding?
We have taken note of his comments. What we have not taken note of is any indication of de-escalation. We have not seen any tangible, any real sign of de-escalation. We have been consistent that we want to pursue the path of diplomacy. We want to resolve this through dialogue, through diplomacy, through communication. We hope the Russians have a similar willingness. But we've also said that in order for diplomacy and dialogue to succeed, it has to take place in the context of de-escalation. And we have not seen anything resembling de-escalation. There is not that context yet. If Foreign Minister Lavrov's comments are followed up with concrete, tangible signs of de-escalation, we would certainly welcome that. We have not seen that yet.
Has there been any movement on another conversation between the secretary and the foreign minister? Have you gotten, and also it looks like the Russians are making noise that they've pretty much finalized their response to your response. And so have you been led to believe that anything on either of those fronts, the response or another meeting or phone call, is coming soon?
Well, we've seen the comments from the Kremlin, from Moscow today, indicating that their response, in their words, has been finalized. It's been, I believe, over 2 weeks now since we dispatched our non-paper to Moscow. We've yet to see a response that remains accurate as of today, as of this moment. But we will, of course, carefully review the Russian written response when we do receive it. As you know, Matt, over the weekend, President Biden hasn't had an opportunity to speak to President Putin. That call was preceded by a phone call that Secretary Blinken had with Foreign Minister Lavrov while we were in flight. During that first call, the call between Secretary Blinken and Foreign Minister Lavrov, Foreign Minister Lavrov indicated what the Russians seem to be indicating now publicly today. Namely, that is that they were finalizing at the time, the written response that they intended to transmit to the United States, a response that would carry the imprimatur of President Putin. We have yet to receive that, but the foreign minister did indicate a willingness on the part of the Russian Federation to engage in dialogue once that response was received. Now, there was no discussion, no specific discussion as to when that dialogue would take place. We don't have anything scheduled at the moment. The next step will be the receipt of the Russian response.
Ned Price with the State Department spokesperson speaking on the announcement that Russia intends to potentially invade on Wednesday. We'll cover more of this in the other side of this break in just a minute. Don't go away.
Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. An Odyssey station.
There's movement at the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Secretary of State Antony Blinken just out with a statement that the embassy is being temporarily relocated away from the capital, Kyiv, for the safety of staff, while emphasizing that diplomatic efforts continue. Ukraine's president, in a social media post, appears to expect a Russian attack on Wednesday, which he's declaring a day of national unity. But a consultant to the Russian government suggests the threat of invasion remains a bargaining chip.
After hearing from Russian officials that it's the West that's creating hysteria around the situation in Ukraine, one Moscow insider admits that Russia is, in fact, quote, creating tension. Doing so, according to Dmitry Suslov, a deputy director at the Higher School of Economics University, to get the world to listen to its long simmering security concerns at long last. And according to Suslov, it has been a success to the extent that this is all now on the table and Russia will continue to use escalation, he assumes, until it gets at least some of its requests answered.
Fox's Amy Kellogg in Washington. The National Security Advisor set to brief key members of the Senate. Some COVID restrictions in the nation's capital are ending. Fox's Jared Halpern with this live.
A requirement for D.C. businesses to check the vaccine status of patrons will expire tomorrow, Mayor Muriel Bowser says, and an indoor mask mandate for many places will be lifted at the end of the month.
We have seen since the height of Omicron wave entered the district in December, cases have dropped more than 90%.
Bowser says hospitalizations are down 95%. After March 1st, masks will still be required in D.C. schools, health centers, libraries, and public transit, as well as any private business wants to require them. Lisa.
Restrictions also easing in Ontario, Canada, but a trucker-led protest there continues. America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply. If you are a man over 40, listen up, because this could impact how much you're getting done during the day and at night. The harsh reality is, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. Here's the good news. Nugenix, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC, has changed the game again for men over 40 with Nugenix Total T, their most powerful man-boosting formula ever. And guys all over America are raving about it. Jeremy P. says, this is the best product I've found to raise T levels. I plan on using the product for the rest of my life. And how about Shane D? He says, I had no drive and was tanked out at the end of the day. After 3 months, my energy level is through the roof. I work out like most 19-year-olds. I am 47. Guys over 40, you need Nugenix Total T. And right now, you can get a complimentary bottle. Just text DIG to 42424. It's the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. But you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting DIG to 42424. That's DIG to 42424. Text DIG to 42424.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty nice afternoon for Valentine's Day and winter in St. Louis, partly to mostly sunny skies. Let's be hanging around 48 degrees much of the afternoon. Tonight, clear skies, 22. Tuesday, sunny, cold early morning, but then noticeably warmer. Tuesday afternoon, a pop to 60 degrees. Rain moves in on Wednesday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Shows that make a difference.
Nobody wants to be that person, but it's that important. Somebody needed to be.
Mark Cox, Brian Kilmeade, Annie Frey.
This is why I'm not going to shut up about this.
Moving forward, how does that work itself out?
Mark Reardon and Dana Lash.
They could drag it out because that might be the only thing that could help them.
Heidi Harris.
We don't know. That's the problem. We don't know at this point.
Wiggins America.
We have been bringing the heat all morning.
Where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey, this is Wiggins. You know, I talk about Fountains Family Dentistry a lot and the fact that you can go there to get your general dentistry stuff done, but they do everything. And so I figured I'd mention that too. General dentistry, as well as cosmetic dentistry, dental implants, dentures, endodontic root canals, oral cancer screening. They do the whole thing. And so if you're just due anyway, you might as well check on some of those other things and see if they're maybe a part of what may make your overall health better. I talk about the sleep apnea device that I wear at night a lot. It has completely changed the way I sleep. So I suggest if you snore or you struggle with sleep, that's a great way to start and just check and see maybe you got sleep apnea. Maybe it would just help you a little bit. Fountains Family Dentistry is in Fairview Heights, Illinois, at the corner of 159, or what right about at the corner of 159 and 64. So easy to get to no matter where you are. Visit them online at fountainsfamilydentistry.com. That's where you can see all that stuff I just mentioned. You can also make an appointment there or find their phone number, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low 2.25% rate.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. Offset high prices with lower monthly payments or turn your home equity into cash.
Lock in this low rate while you can. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, showing my blues.
NMLS 114937, 2.25% fixed, 3.336% APR, FHA 13-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? This is Mark Reardon. I have the answer. You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. And that's the Gelman team of VXP Realty. Mark and Neil Gelman, they're friends of mine. I've worked with them many, many times over the years to help me sell my house and get into a new one more than 4 years ago. Here's a great success story. Mary looking to downsize into a new villa. She was looking for a quick sale for her current home. She reached out to the Gelmans. Mark and Neil turned their marketing up, and within 34 days, they were able to sell Mary's home for full price at over $1 million. Mary's very happy in the new villa thanks to the Gelman team. And they can help you the same way they helped Mary. Crank up that marketing, or they also have other choices. They can give you an instant cash offer. They also have a buy before you sell program. Make sure you ask about that. The Gelman team, call today, 314-336-1991, online at thegelmanteam.com, or just Google the Gelman team. Certain restrictions apply.
Don't you wish fixing your car was simple? Mark Cox here. Today, cars have more tech than the first spaceship that went to the moon. It's guaranteed something's going to break. That's why I have a protection plan through CarShield. When I need a repair, I choose the mechanic. CarShield administrators take care of the rest. These plans through CarShield even provide rental car options and roadside assistance and trip reimbursement, all at no extra cost. Getting the coverage is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, contact CarShield for a free quote. 2, tell them about your vehicle. 3, choose the protection you need. That's it. Whether your car has 5,000 miles or 150,000 miles, CarShield has options to fit your budget. Get your coverage today. Go to carshield.com/Cox or call 800-391-8888 to save 10%. That's carshield.com/Cox or 800-391-8888 to save 10%. A deductible may apply.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Join Mark Patrick's seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guarantee for only $49.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar, Monday, February 28th at the 4 Points by Sheraton Hotel in Fairview Heights. Time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Stop smoking seminar starts at 8 p.m. Registration starts at 7:30.
The Odyssey app is for this station and also for music stations. Get 97.1 FM Talk on your phone or pick a genre. It's all there. The Odyssey app. 971talk.com. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by the Loading Dock, with a unique and beautiful ice skating rink to enjoy this time of year. Go to graftonloadingdock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, I had planned to go into this and talk about something seriously, but then I saw Larry the Cable Guy's tweet, and I just have to share it with you. When Valentine's Day also falls on George Washington's birthday, my wife and I role play. I wear a powdered wig, and she gives me a $1 bill to leave her alone. In case anybody doesn't know what to do tonight.
That one made you think for a second.
Honey, I need you to pick some things up from the store. I need you to get a wig and change. Happy Valentine's Day. Very glad that you're spending some time with us today. We just played some news from Ned Price, the State Department spokesperson, reacting to the news that Ukraine expects says Russian invasion is expected on Wednesday. I'm reading here from the Daily Wire. Ukrainian President Zelensky said that his country is expected to be attacked by Russia this week, according to a CNN report. In the following translated Facebook post, Zelensky said that the Ukrainian government has been informed that an invasion will be launched in 2 days. Who was it General? Who was the general who was accused of telling China, like, if we're going to attack you, we'll let you know?
Milley.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was Mick something. Mick Milley.
Yeah, sure. Close.
It's close enough. Yeah. You know, I laugh and say, like, why would anybody announce? I don't know. I don't know anything about warfare.
That does seem weird, doesn't it? That they would just say, well, here's here's when it's going to start. You know, that's not.
I don't know anything, but in the old days of warfare, you would make it so that women and children could not be in the line of fire of some sort of conflict. Granted, if you're invading a country, it's like, how much compassion do you get credit for?
Yeah. Is this not the most confusing look at a war ever? Because I can't figure out what to think about this thing.
Yeah. So I hesitate to comment on it. That's why we have Jim Carafano on to talk about it and other experts to weigh in, because the conflicts are way more complicated than we understand. And let's be real, the majority of what we know about warfare, if you haven't served, is from movies. And that is not a realistic portrayal of what we're taking in. It's Valentine's Day, so I think at 2:25, barring any other breaking news, Hannah is going to give us a Valentine's Day report. You excited about that?
I am.
I am, because I have no idea what she's going to do.
I know. That's actually why I'm excited about it.
I said to her, I was like, this is what I want you to, it's Valentine's Day. Let's get a Valentine's Day report from you. You can do whatever you want. Her words to me were, okay, I'll run with it. And that's like music to my ears.
So the assignment was, we need a Valentine's Day report.
Segment
update.
I called it report, but what I really want to do is have a conversation, and I want her to read it. And she said, fine, let's do it.
And so we have no idea what that means. And I actually asked her, because she said, oh, I'm doing a Valentine's Day segment. I said, what does that mean? She said, well, it means a lot of things.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's about it. So,
just wait. It's a tease. She teased.
Yes, she did.
It's fantastic. I do want to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl, only because I know that it happened yesterday. I was aware that it happened yesterday. So my husband and I invited, my parents came over, and we had Brenner. Fans of Brenner, either of you?
Wait, Brenner being breakfast for dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am. And we just had that Friday night.
There's nothing better than breakfast anytime.
Yes.
Especially if it's not in the morning when you have to get up early to eat it.
That's right. Yeah.
It tastes better later in the day.
Yeah, a full breakfast is really underrated.
Completely.
And can be a dinner.
Scrambled eggs, biscuits and gravy, sausage, bacon, yogurt, 5 different kinds of fresh fruit, homemade strawberry and peach jam.
Yeah, you get a lot of fruits.
Trying to think of what else we had on the table, but the whole table was full.
You get a lot of grains with your waffles and your pancakes.
That was what we had with, cinnamon rolls. He made cinnamon rolls.
And
that's what we had for our non-Super Bowl party. And then we sat down and the kids played Nintendo Switch and the adults sat on their phones.
That actually sounds really relaxing.
I'm a little jealous. The lights were low. The fire was on. We all had blankets, cozy, and that was it. And
Did you speak to one another?
Not much. We were laying low.
Yeah.
Molly is my 8-month-old. She's 8 months old now. Time flies. She is real fussy, and she is like the happiest, easiest going baby. She's got something going on. Before we went to church, she's not really particularly like snotty cold or whatever, but she's sick, and we've been at basketball tournaments this weekend. So we just did a COVID test on her. We just have these COVID tests at home, and just so that if we go anywhere, we can just be sure. Nothing like doing a COVID test, sticking that thing into an 8-month-old's nose. Mm-hmm. Did a COVID test before we went to church, just to be super cautious and whatever. Negative for COVID, but then just like real fussy and not herself. And she kind of plays with her ear a little bit. So my husband took her to the doctor today, and the doctor's like, she looks great. I'm like, as a parent, aren't you like, I need answers?
Yeah, it's the same thing as taking your car in. It's doing this thing. And you get there.
Nothing looks wrong.
It seems fine to me. It's not even doing that thing. Doggone it, I wish it'd do the thing.
They need you to fix the problem. Identifying the problem allows you to fix the problem. And evidently Molly's perfect. And we will continue to not sleep at night because
she's not over it.
She's a crab. No. She just seems agitated. And it's unlike her. And I don't mind taking her in to get her checked up, especially if it's like an ear infection. Like, why wait on something like that? Nope, she's fine. So we will continue to. Jared's been sleeping in the chair with her for the last 3 nights because she just doesn't sleep well. And so he takes her downstairs and sleeps in the comfy chair with her. And he didn't get good sleep. She didn't get good sleep and whatever. But she's fine, apparently.
Can I tell you what you missed with the Super Bowl?
No, first we're going to go to our Super Bowl correspondent.
Oh, okay.
I'm the Super Bowl correspondent.
And then you can criticize his report if you would like, or critique, I should say.
We'll see. We'll see how it is.
And add.
Okay.
Or subtract.
We'll see.
What do you got?
What do I got? Well, I didn't really understand what it means to be a Super Bowl correspondent, so I'll just kind of give you guys an update.
So you didn't watch it?
Yeah, no, I watched it.
The truth is that I wasn't going to watch it. I texted him what I could only assume was probably the third quarter. I'm like, are you watching this? Okay, you're the correspondent.
Yeah.
There's nothing to understand.
Okay, so just to kind of report on what I saw, I thought it was a boring game. Like, usually you watch a Super Bowl and you want to have excitement. There were 2, maybe 3 exciting plays, and then just kind of trench warfare football. It just wasn't really exciting. Odell Beckham injured his knee. I don't know to what extent he injured it. If I had to guess, it looked like a pretty severe knee injury. In the fourth quarter, Joe Burrow went down, who's the quarterback for the Bengals. He went down because somebody rolled up on him, and we weren't sure if he was going to be able to finish the game.
I saw somebody on Facebook say, do you pronounce it B-A-N-G, Bengals, or B-I-N-G?
Bengals?
And I was like, and I mean, like, this is just a conversation between 2 people. But I was like, is this really a conversation? And it even said on there, like, I'm not telling you who thinks it should be what, but I don't, does anybody say Bengals?
What did I say? I don't even know what I said.
This has nothing to do with what you said. I'm just interjecting with a conversation that took place that is suggesting that there are 2 different ways to say Bengals.
I got to say, I've never heard anybody say Bengals. Well, actually, as I say it, it doesn't sound that bad.
I might try it on for size.
Maybe in the future. I'm
Brad?
a Bengals fan.
Bengals? I don't know.
B-A-N-G, Bengals.
B-E-N-G, but Bengals.
I know it's spelled B. Yeah.
But yeah. No,
Bang.
it wasn't that a band in the 80s, the Bangles?
Is
Walk
there a
like
difference
an
between
Egyptian.
Bangles with an A and Bengals with an E?
Bengals sounds like an earring.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm going Bengals.
Back to how much I watched the Super Bowl yesterday. I told you I was on my phone.
He actually gave us a good report.
Yeah.
Are you done?
I'm not
Is there
done
more?
yet. The halftime show, I enjoyed the halftime show.
We don't even have to talk about the end, but carry on.
Yeah,
You liked it?
Yeah, I enjoyed the halftime show because the halftime show was kind of the soundtrack of my high school.
I might go back and watch it.
But like,
I don't know if it's worth that.
I don't know.
But
no.
for a halftime show, I thought it was pretty good.
It was good.
If the halftime show is as good, if this is the best halftime show there, shouldn't it be rewatchable?
It absolutely. Well, the bar for halftime shows, as far as a live show goes, it was really good. I don't know if going back and watching it would be. It's something that you sort of have to experience with the nation at the same time, right?
So the funny thing to me is catching the reaction while I was going through social media, because I was mostly reading stories about the Durham Probe during the Super Bowl.
I was too.
And the interesting thing to me about it was there were the typical tweets about how sexualized the halftime show is. That is our culture now. I don't know that there's a way to present music entertainment right now, unless it's maybe just like rock and roll, put a band on stage and let them rock out. I mean, you put dancers out there and the music is like, it's all so sexualized. I don't know how we get away from that. And I agree with it. Like I when I watch that stuff, I have a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old daughter at home and a baby, of course. And I mean, I'm leaving out the 12-year-old boy. Like he's not the one watching it.
Yeah.
Let me backtrack here. But yeah. When I'm watching it, if I'm listening to a song that 50 Cent sings and I'm thinking about being in Jupiter, Florida at spring training and hearing that song at the bar that we were at, that brings back memories to me that I don't want to put in front of my child. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So does it belong there or not? Not for my kids, really.
No, me either. But I was watching it through that filter because I have kids that are old enough to notice that now, 7 years old. And I thought there's certain things that I wouldn't say, here, watch this. But compared to other Super Bowls, for sure, it was not that bad. There's a little bit of skin. But I mean, comparatively, it was actually fairly clean.
You can also go back and look at I'm going to say Fred Astaire. Like, dancing is kind of a sexual thing. That's kind of like, there's a portion of that. There's a way to do it tastefully and there's a way to not do it so tastefully. And the people who are not doing it, air quotes, tastefully, know that.
Yeah, when my kids watch Fred Astaire, I'm like, do not show him below the hips.
Elvis. I mean, I'm just saying that there's a part of that is suggestive. That's just the way it is. I mean, we've talked many times on the show about going back and actually listening as grown people to the lyrics to the songs that we're like, I know all the words of this. This is filthy. It kind of catches up to you. So I don't want to be a prude about it, but I also don't want to be like, here, children, come gather.
Right.
Let's come
Right.
sit. Now watch what she does with their hips. And I know she's not wearing pants, but that's okay. Like,
Right.
It's just not like gather around, children.
Yeah, look, I mean, one thing that we probably should acknowledge is most of these guys and girls are now in their late 40s and 50s. They're not showing a whole lot anyway. They don't want to. Now,
Were there a dance?
There
But
were dancers.
It's not so much the performers.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the surrounding
And there
entertainment.
were, that wasn't even really a huge part of it. It was maybe for one part of one song, and there was a little bit of skin, but not a ton. But I mean, they were definitely doing some like hip thrusts and stuff. But
I'm not opposed to the skin as much as I am like, what are you doing?
What are you doing with it?
Yeah.
The most
Not
suggestive,
what it is, it's how you use it.
like the most suggestive dancing I saw was during 50 Cent. And, but his song's about being up in the club. So
Yeah.
that was kind of, so it was suggestive
song.
dancing.
Absolutely.
But after that,
That song is getting turned up in my Chrysler Pacifica when the kids are in there. And then I'm listening, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta turn the Disney Channel on right now.
Now, when you're listening to it, do you say this is 50 Cent or do you say 50 Cent?
$50.
Okay. Just making sure.
Just 50.
And if it's before 1964, it's even worth more.
I know inflation. It's like a quarter now,
It's
really.
got silver in it.
I would say that I do not make an effort to say 50 as much as Brad just did.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
He was fully committed.
Yeah, he was.
And it's not that it was wrong.
No,
I'm fully committed. That's his name.
I'm not questioning you. I was just wondering
Just
if
acknowledging it.
Annie was that committed.
And it was 50 when I was in high school. And so it's not, I can say that unironically. That's just how we referred to him when I was in high school. Why would I change?
Upon thinking of this, definitely say 50 cents.
Me too. But Brad
He's
doesn't.
No 50. There's two F's, people. It's just that's the way this girl says it. 50 cent.
But at least you don't make it plural. Because then if you did, you'd be fully in.
50 cents.
50 cents.
50 cents, man. He's my favorite artist.
There were a lot of good inflation jokes about that
I
performance.
feel bad about it. I wasn't even
Really?
gonna go there.
I mean, there was a lot. They were good though. They were
Do you
funny.
think he cares?
Not really. 50 Cent?
He's a wealthy dude.
I don't think he cares
he's
too much.
very wealthy.
Does he have any other songs other than Go Shorty, It's
yeah.
Your Birthday? Does he? I don't know
Yeah.
any other ones. So
Yeah.
they played the hits, which is why I was like, this is pretty cool. I knew those, and I'm not even a hip hop guy.
We'll go over them on the break.
Okay.
Hannah's coming in for a Valentine's Day report. I'm excited about this because I don't know what's going to happen. And I hope she asks some interesting questions of the crew. Mostly you guys, not me.
I don't know. Is it going to be questions or is it just going to be factoids about the history of Valentine's
Maybe
Day?
she's just going to come in here and grill you on your love life.
Okay. That's fine.
Valentine's Day, frolicking in the dandelion fields, picking daisies.
That's not grilling me. That's just
with
making assumptions.
Ryan and Katie. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, the Valentine's Day report on Valentine's Day with Hannah. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. History looks back on times like this. Where do you stand? 97.1 FM Talk is here to spotlight what would otherwise be left in the dark. Right here, right now. 97.1 FM Talk.
Jewels on Hampton and St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks and sports memorabilia and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa, and jewelsonhampton.com. Call them at 314-752-5000, 314-752-5000, and jewelsonhampton.com. Jewels on Hampton.
You want to know what wagertainment is? It's the picks, the analysis, the information, mixed with the laughter and the entertainment. Smart sports betting content that'll put a smile on your face.
The BetQL Network, streaming live each day and helping you bet smarter.
If you're a sports fan, you know why you should listen. It's sports betting content without the BS. No hot takes, no nonsense.
All the insight you need to bet smarter is at BetQL.com. And listen to the BetQL Network, streaming live right now on Odyssey.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc., from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visit your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance, 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
Epic songs for epic moments. Get pumped and celebrate with Arena Rock. Featuring songs from Queen, Journey, Motley Crue, and more. Search for Arena Rock on the Odyssey app to listen. That's AUDACY.com.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peters did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Show your pet how much you love them by stocking up on pet essentials with our Love Your Pet digital ad deals going on now through February 21st. Save on pet items like food, treats, and toys. View the ad online only right now at farmandhomesupply.com. Farm and Home Supply, outfitting your lifestyle.
Selling your home's a huge deal. You want to sell it fast and for the highest price with zero hassles, right? Mark Cox here. That's why I always recommend Gloria Liu with GL International Realty and the Coldwell Banker Premier Group. Gloria continues to change the real estate game with multiple cash offers for her sellers. Above market bids with multiple cash offers in less than 24 hours, and she makes the process so easy. Gloria eliminates the hassles with no showings while you pick the closing date. Check this out. Andrew wrote, Gloria sold my home quickly, above market value, to an all-cash buyer, no hassles, delays, or problems. With Gloria Liu, 2 things are always guaranteed: your home sale and your price. Call Gloria today and get your cash offer at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
There are times when I look above and beyond. There are times when I feel your love around me, baby. I'll never forget.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. On the break, we have officially established that 50 Cent is more successful than Ryan is aware, but that's because he is culturally ignorant to the discography of 50 Cent, not because of 50 Cent's lack of success.
No, that's true. And I left that door open. I said it could be that I don't know any of his songs, but I did know that bump song. That was Michael Jackson.
That's Janet Jackson.
Wow.
How many 50 Cent songs, 50 Cent songs, do you know that I don't? You listed about
all of
5.
them. All of them.
I can't believe
You didn't know any,
What is
Ryan.
this?
What are you doing?
What is
Joe
this?
Joe gave that to me. He said he wanted Annie to sign it.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
This is a book from our friend and Hannah's friend, Balls.
Yes,
on
my
all
friend.
social media thing. He wants me to sign this.
Yes.
This is The Life of Human. It says here it's written by Ryan Wiggins.
Yes, that's right. It's high gloss. Nice paper, too. That's a good version.
You haven't signed this.
No, that's for you to sign.
I'm gonna sign your book
Go ahead.
for a listener before you do.
I said online when people ask me that, I always tell them I sign it as some other celebrity.
You wanna
Like the
sign it
last
as
one, I
me?
signed it as Paul Rudd. So this one, you can actually be a celebrity signing it instead of me making one up.
You're gonna let me be a celebrity for
Yeah.
mine? I don't want to be a celebrity.
Please do.
She's verified.
Although
on
if
Twitter.
you want me to sign something and sign it Annie Frey, I will.
I don't. Actually.
As long as I can say whatever I want.
Is there something I'm supposed to say on this?
Just whatever you want. And he said you can sign it wherever you want too. He doesn't
Just on
have
each
it-
page?
He doesn't have it.
Yeah. Love
One letter
that.
at a time?
If you flip it through it, it looks like you're signing as you go.
Yeah, just
It's
start
a flip book.
crossing out
You just-
lines.
But when you do a flip book, you got to do it backwards.
Yeah, which I didn't.
So
Unfortunately, I have no pictures in that book. It's all words. So
So-
boring.
did he read this book?
I think so. I don't know. Does the crease look bent?
Doesn't really look bad. It doesn't look red. It looks like
Did he like it?
He didn't tell me any of that. He
Is
just
he
said he
on?
wanted you to sign it.
Is he on the live chat?
He should be. I mean, he said he was at home with the Super Bowl flu, so
Oh.
go ahead and sign. Oh, let's see. Oh, you just signed your name. You just crossed out my name and signed your name. History will not be kind to you.
I don't know if you know this, but Ryan Wiggins actually wrote a novel and it's called The Life of Human. And you can get it on Amazon if you would like to read. If you are wanting to dive deeper into the mind of Ryan Wiggins, there are 321 pages.
It's a legit novel.
Yeah, it's a real book.
It is a legit real book.
and I actually read it and I think it was phenomenal. I really liked the style, the way you wrote it.
Thank you.
So-
That's great to
I
hear.
do have a bone to pick. On the back here, it says Ryan Wiggins is from Collinsville, Illinois, home of the world's largest catsup bottle.
How did I spell it?
It doesn't say ketchup.
Does it say with a C?
CATSUP.
That's how they spell it at Brooks.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think you should have changed it.
I'm sorry.
You have authority here.
But if I did, people from Collinsville would know. Wait, this
He is a writer,
inaccurate.
producer, and occasional media personality.
Yeah. At the time I wrote that, I thought, who knows?
Who knows what will
Who knows
happen
what
when
the
this
future
goes
happens?
to print? He truly is in the radio industry. Yeah. Hey guys, listen, this is all temporary. Just stick around and continue to follow us. When we disappear from here, we will show up somewhere, and we really hope that you were there when we do. This is just the way the story goes. Hannah,
Yep.
I'm sorry to tell you about the way this industry works.
Yay.
You got a Valentine's Day report for us?
I do. So I'll start out with a question for you guys. How do you celebrate Valentine's differently from your anniversary? Like, do you celebrate them in the same way?
First, we should start with, do you celebrate them?
I'll tell you this. I haven't bought anything yet, but the day is young. I got some time, and I do have a great idea. So in that sense, I celebrate Valentine's Day pretty much the same as my anniversary.
Last
Late.
minute.
My husband brought me this morning macarons, which is my fave. And I was going to get him something that I have in mind, but then he stayed home with the baby, so I couldn't be like super sneaky stealth about it. So he's probably listening right now. Hope not. I got to figure that out between now and this evening. I hope I don't bump into Ryan at the store.
I know something you can get him.
What?
It's a regift, though. It's poop meat.
I do love my husband a bit more than the poop meat. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you're lucky.
Yeah, why not?
But do you do anything in particular that is different in Valentine's Day and anniversary? Or is it more
My
so the
husband and
same
I
thing?
we will celebrate the anniversary much more than the Valentine's Day holiday. And that's not to say how much we celebrate. It's more to say how much we don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Right.
But we will try, and we're not, I mean, I don't know. It's like we're probably batting 500 on this. We will try to go out and have a grown-up meal. It might be at Texas Roadhouse, and it might be for an hour while we got their grandparents to watch the kids. So this year will be 15 years though.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Roadhouse is great. Lots of free peanuts on the floor.
Totally underrated.
Parker works there.
Really?
Yes, he does.
Grilled
They
chicken
actually get
salad.
really busy on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
That's like
yeah.
a poppin' place to go.
Mhm. What about you, Brad?
We, like you said, we celebrate anniversary way more.
What's your anniversary?
Bigger.
On the spot.
May 31st.
Woo! February 31st. Anyway.
We celebrate it every 4 years. No, never. Actually, we never celebrate it. Don't worry about whatever that was.
So
It's just a calendar.
for those who don't have a Valentine but maybe an ex, you can feed your ex's name to a wolf. An animal rescue center in Pennsylvania is charging $5 for treats with your ex's name on them,
What
which
a
they will
scam.
then feed to the wolves. So if you're that
It's
petty,
only $5 though.
Aren't you like, who would do that? And why didn't I think of it first?
$5?
That
Man.
sounds like such a radio promotion.
A wolf. No, we got this wolf. What are you gonna do with it? What are they doing with the wolves? Is it a wolf? You said it's a wolf sanctuary?
yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So it's a fundraiser.
Yeah, they said it's just an easy way to make some money, and they raised over $200 last year. So
They were
Ryan, you laugh about it, but I honestly think that's something you would do.
I would charge more than $5. I guarantee you that. $200.
balls. I just signed The Life of Human, which is Ryan Wiggins' novel, which you can get on Amazon. And the Sharpie was running out of ink the whole time, but I'm gonna let Ryan sign it now too. Is that allowed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So
Are we talking to
Do
him
you-
like he's here?
He's listening.
Okay.
Do you have? I don't know how much this is like too personal, but anybody in here have exes that are like that are you're that dramatic about, or is it just like
No.
moving on?
Not really. I'm friends with all my exes still.
All my exes live in Texas.
Is that a line from a song or is that true? I can't tell right now.
It's true.
Okay. What part of Texas?
My hat's in Tennessee though. Don't worry about it. So
That sounds like
I can't imagine like being. I could maybe think of some people's names, but not exes.
I mean, is that going to make someone actually feel better? Be like, oh, that wolf eating that treat really just made my ex cheating on me. That problems all go away.
Yeah, I hope not.
Are you even actually over your ex if you like still feel that way about, like, if you're that emotionally?
No, but it's not required that you're over them.
Well, I mean,
if you're over them,
Why
you're
would
not
you do it though?
Yeah.
to feel good for 5 minutes and to help the wolf sanctuary.
Oh, right. It's
I
all
can't
about
believe
the
they're running
animals.
that thing as a profit because it seems like it would cost more than $5 to get a treat inscribed with someone's name on it to then feed to a wolf.
I have no idea.
Much more worried about the overhead here than I am the actual story, Hannah.
Chris on Facebook says, "What about toilet paper with your ex's name on it?"
Wow.
Just
What if
don't
it's
post it.
reusable?
Yeah, don't use it. Do that on social media.
Next, okay. I found some places that have.
What if you fed that to the wolf?
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I found some places that have some pretty good deals and freebies for Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
White Castle, Taco Bell, Wingstop,
All
Tim
the romantic
Hortons,
places.
Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme, Potbelly Sandwich Shop. Have any of you ever been there?
Yes.
It's really good.
So good. Outback Steakhouse, Jamba Juice, Firehouse Subs, Annie Ann's Pretzels, and much more.
So you can go there and get a little something for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, all of them are running some sort of promotion or deal or freebie today. Something interesting about this year in particular is 31% of people are planning to mark the occasion compared to 24% of people last year. So a lot more people are wanting to go out and celebrate Valentine's this year.
Probably COVID related, maybe?
I imagine, because no way there's more love this year than there was last year.
Bold statement.
I wonder if it's a higher percentage of people who are unmarried who celebrate Valentine's Day. It's got to be, right?
Well, let's hold that thought. I want to
Okay.
take a quick break because I want to continue this conversation on the other side, but I have questions to ask all of you folks. So join us on the live stream, the Annie Frey YouTube channel, trying to get to 2,700 subscribers right there. We are at 2,632. So I need 68 quick math subscribers on the Annie Frey YouTube channel to tip us over the 2,700 mark. If you're free, if you want to give me a Valentine, how about a YouTube subscription? And hurry before Ryan gets us blocked again. So we're going to talk these questions when we come back. Ryan is signing the book on the break, his book. I hope I didn't take up too much space on that page.
You did.
I took a lot of space, but I did well.
I'll try to take the bottom there.
Okay.
This is more about you, though. It's only my novel.
Wasn't my idea. It was presented to me. I did not instigate this. More Valentine's Day conversation when we come back. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Reardon Show.
Former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. What do parents really care about? We believe that schools should be open and that our kids shouldn't have to have the mandate. We should make that choice ourselves. Don't piss off parents.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
So the Closet Factory, online at closetfactory.com. These people are lifesavers. They come into your house and they magically make your home, which you've been living in for a short amount of time or maybe like forever, make your home feel bigger because they take the space that you are given. It's a finite amount of space, of course, and they make that space work for you with vertical storage, with organization, customized to your unique circumstances. They have done this in my house with my master closet. They've also helped me take 3 bedrooms that I have for kids and put 4 kids in those 3 bedrooms and make it make sense for us. If you want them to come into your laundry space, they did that for us as well. We have a laundry closet and they basically took a small space and created essentially a small laundry room for us in the way they reorganize things. They can, like I said, come into your home and help you customize a solution for your needs. Reach out to them at 314-961-4300. Mention the Annie Frey Show just so they know where you heard about the Closet Factory from. 314-961-4300. Online at closetfactory.com.
Everyone deserves the retirement they have always wanted. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, protecting your life savings along with growth potential is key. When your nest egg is protected from market losses, the fear and anxiety of not being able to retire are no longer part of the equation. That is the first step. Our sole focus is on you. I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group, and we'll show you how to protect your retirement accounts from market losses and generate more income than most investment options. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll design your own personalized, structured income plan that will show you exactly how to retire comfortably. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. I've been helping retirees and pre-retirees to retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Land Story Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Land Story Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Race to savings on great flooring from Menards. With many flooring options and top brands like Tarkett, you'll find the perfect flooring to give your home a fresh, new look. Laminate flooring is durable and simple to maintain. Sheet vinyl is waterproof and easy to install. Vinyl plank is waterproof and quickly clicks together. Get started on your next project today with big savings on Tarkett flooring during Menards Race to Savings sale. Savings are good through February 19th.
Save big money at Menards.
Did you know you can sell any house within just 7 minutes without any fees, commissions, banks, or headaches? ChrisBuysHomesSTL.com is looking to make you a cash offer on your house today, no matter the size or condition. We buy vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, townhouses, condos, and apartment buildings. If you have a house and are just even thinking of selling, visit us at ChrisBuysHomesSTL.com. Leave us your info and we'll reach out to you, ask you some basic questions about your property, and make you a cash offer within just 7 minutes. Remember, when you sell your house to ChrisBuysHomesSTL.com, you get to choose the closing date. To get a free, no-obligation cash offer on your house, go online or call us today at 314-782-5000. That number is 314-782-5000. 314-782-5000. That's ChrisBuysHomesSTL.com.
Donate your car to Goodwill to help people with disabilities find jobs right here in St. Louis. Donating is easy and towing is free. Plus, you get 4 box seats to a Cardinals game. Visit mersgoodwill.org. Must mention promo code Cardinals while supplies last.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with a new heating system this winter. You could get 0% financing for up to 72 months on qualifying new HVAC systems. For free details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
They think for the best. My reputation's never been worse, so you must like me for me.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Can't make any promises now, can we, babe? But you can make me dream.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's 2:47 right now. Mark Reardon's about to come in here at 3 o'clock. You can donate your car to Goodwill. Get 2022 Cardinal tickets at mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Cardinals. I got some questions for the crew in here about Valentine's Day. Let's get familiar with one another. Let's learn about each other.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We're all scared.
Yeah, you put that in a way that just made it a little uncomfortable
Tell
to begin
me your
with.
deepest, darkest secrets.
Yeah.
Go.
I didn't know that I could make you uncomfortable.
Well, I'm not that uncomfortable, but as far as I get uncomfortable, that setup made me go there.
What's your song with your wife?
Late in the Day by Supergrass.
Have we played that on the show before?
Yes.
I've asked that question before.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it, but we've played it before. Hannah, Mr. Wonderful, you two have been together for how long?
Next week will be 3 years.
3 years. And do you guys have a song? Should we call him and ask him?
Nothing in particular that's like, oh, that's our song. But I made him like a Spotify.
Yeah.
Of course it's Spotify. Geez. Back when it was cool.
Neil Young playlist.
I still like Spotify. I
Yeah.
still stand by Spotify. Spotify is standing by Jim Rogan.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
But it was
February 31st.
an Eric Church song. Eric Church.
Yeah.
Wow. Here we go again. But
Eric
it's-
Schmidt's album.
Yeah. Love Your Love the Most. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
that
yeah,
would
yeah.
probably be our song if I had to pick one.
Is he listening right now? Because now he knows. You have just
He
made
texted
it so.
me that the Odyssey link online wasn't working. So that's not good.
Well, if he podcasts this, which you can at the Odyssey app, if that's working.
I said Facebook. Don't you want to see me?
Right. See my face, Mr. Wonderful. Now you have a song, and remember that. What about you, Brad?
Michael Bublé, Everything.
Yeah. Did you? So
quick response on that one.
I
Nice.
asked him earlier. He had time, and he told me first, "No, we don't have a song." And then he goes, "Wait a second." Whoa. I said, "Yeah, we do." My husband and I would say "Fishing in the Dark" is probably our song, which is the first song that I played today. When we had our wedding and we were picking our first dance song, it was like not easy for us to do and to agree upon it. So we met. Our families had known each other for a long time. We both have brothers who are the same age who play on the same summer baseball team, but I played sports, not as well as Ryan Wiggins did, according to last weekend.
Goodness.
But I was an athlete, and so I was always at my own sporting events when my brother was playing his baseball games. So I never really came into contact with Jared until we met through mutual friends at Wild Country. And so we hung out every Thursday, I think for like 3 years, which included some time that we were dating. And there were several songs that I wanted, and he was just like, he gets particular about the strangest things. So the song that we danced to at our wedding is, I think it's called "Oh Love," but it's by Carrie Underwood and Brad Paisley. Have you ever heard this song? I know you're a country fan.
I have not, but anything with Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood together is pretty good.
So you need to listen to this song. It is an amazing song. Is it Fifth Wheel or something like that? I don't know, whatever album had just come out, and it was Carrie Underwood and Brad Paisley, and it hadn't been a released single yet, but you're like, obviously this is going to be a mainstream song. Never once have I heard it played on the radio. So we picked it, scooping it, thinking we would have it before it became a big thing, and it never did. So our song, I never hear, the quote song, our song that we danced to at our wedding in the wild ever.
Well, I got good news for you. Supergrass late in the day, not a huge hit.
I was just going to say, you know what that's like.
Yeah.
Was your guys' responses like, was that your wedding song?
That's what made it our song.
Okay.
Yeah, we both liked it. but-
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't have, we could have probably used "Fishing in the Dark." Like, I would say when we got married in 2007, that I looked at my wedding so much more as like, these are the things that you do when you get married. These are the things you do at a wedding. And like, there was no Pinterest, there was no Instagram,
Right.
there was no like industry where you were encouraged to do a lot of varying things. You just did these things. And I would, if I did it over now, I would probably, it was wonderful and I loved it, but I probably would have approached it with a different type of an attitude.
Yeah, I was so ahead of my time that I actually did a full choreographed dance at my own wedding, but there wasn't anybody else that knew it.
So it wasn't a flash mob?
It was a flappy arms dance.
It was
And everybody stopped
it's
and
just
stares.
me doing a dance.
Jeez.
So is that the song you danced to at your wedding then, Brad?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that why it's your song?
Yes.
Do these things matter to you? That's a
Like
no.
that we don't have a song that's more nostalgic or what?
Does it matter to you, Hannah, to have a song?
No. Because if I think about it, any song would be our song. Like if we listen to it together, it's our song.
What about Enter Sandman?
Yeah.
That reminds me more of the hockey game, but
Any song.
We
Any song
listen
else.
to that on the way to the lake and it's fun. I don't know.
Killing in the Name of by Rage.
If Parker didn't give the exact response I did, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be upset. If that's what you're
So
asking.
you're a rational person. It's weird to me over the course of time. So you got married in what year, Brad?
Oh, geez. 08?
It's not a.
Oh,
you can't-
geez.
You
Oh,
can't
boy.
ask me.
Oh boy.
He says, "Oh, geez," and looks at me like, "Oh, wait, does that sound right?"
Wait.
I have no idea. Ryan, you were August of 2007. I'm September of 2007. The things that matter at that. So I dated Jared for 3 years, maybe 3.5 years before we got married. And we were friends for maybe a year and a half before we dated. But the arc of the way things are important, the priorities, once you get to be where we're almost married for 15 years, we've been together for, I guess 18. It's just a dramatic difference in what you prioritize. So like the Valentine's Day thing, I feel like in the dating world, the Valentine's Day thing is like a check on how serious are we? Like, are we going to take this seriously? are we going to, like, what's he going to do for me? It's not about the thing. It's just about the relationship and about the emotions. When you're married and you're like, yeah, who's going to get the kids after school though? Those things just, your whole life reshuffles and reprioritizes, which is why I was saying on Friday, like, I think it's important to still try to remember to do those little things on Valentine's Day, even if it's small, because I know that in our life, we're so busy. It's easy to forget to do those things.
Yeah. Now it's, oh my gosh, Chinese food. That's great.
That's my favorite food.
Yeah. Old Pen King isn't even usually open on Mondays. How'd you do that?
I just love you that much, sweetie. So do you, Hannah, you being the non-married party in the room, do you have Valentine's plans? Can we talk about it?
We do not. I think Parker and I are actually like
Parker,
Mr. Wonderful. I think we're like separate from our generation. We don't really celebrate. Also, I think it adds to the fact that our anniversary is a week away. So maybe we would celebrate Valentine's Day more if our anniversary was farther away.
So will you celebrate that?
Yeah, like we'll go out to dinner and stuff for that. But tonight we're not doing anything fun. I'm going to the gym. Maybe I'll see him. I don't know.
Fair enough. So, Brad, your Valentine's Day plans entail anything interesting?
I'm actually leading premarital counseling with a young couple this evening. And I asked them last week, I was like, do you guys want to do this or do you want to do Valentine's Day? They're like, we want to come here and do this study so that we make sure we can get this done before we get married.
Did you get anything for Terry yet?
Not yet. No.
You going to?
Oh, yeah.
Does she have expectations?
I would say she doesn't have expectations, but I think that
high hopes.
I think she would love to have some chocolate covered strawberries and stuff like that.
So you'll go for it.
Oh, yeah.
What if they're sold out?
I'll figure something else out.
Couple in the lobby.
Improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Take her some cold ones that have been sitting out there
I got
since
some
6
Casey's
a.m.
donuts sitting right back there. You can take her some of those.
That's right.
Ryan, have you gotten anything for Katie yet?
Question. Does it matter where it comes from?
No.
Okay. Then I am going to get something tonight, but it is from Walmart.
That's fine.
Walmart has one of everything, so
I know.
You can get something from Walmart. You can get other places.
Well, here's I don't want to say it because she might be listening, but Walmart has, she's on, she does like a low carb diet. So
at Christmas, she told us she never listens. She didn't even know that we knew about her allowance.
More lately, though, because of that, I think. So
she saw the Christmas show. She's like, these guys are actually pretty fun.
Oh, man, this is great. It's a pretty good show.
Where can I listen to you more often?
So
not the Odyssey link online.
If she's listening, I'm not going to say, but she's on a low carb thing. So I got to get something very particular.
Fruit?
No, I can't say. I'll tell you tomorrow.
Vegetables.
Yeah, she's going to get a big stack of celery.
It's what you wanted, honey. You said low carb. Why did I go wrong? How did this happen? Stick around. The Mark Reardon Show is coming up next.
So beat the drum with me.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Seminars can help.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one